check, yeah.
Feedback.
Check, 1, 2, 2.
I cannot.
Check 1.
Not hearing anything. Yep, now I got you. Yep. Framing okay? Yeah, please.
Okay, so channel, flashes on channel, so you
Okay.
can change it from there. For volume, it's...
Oh, cool. Fantastic. Thanks, mate.
Check. Check, 1, 2, 2, yeah.
Welcome live stream viewers here to the state championships for Gridiron Queensland in 2015. We're coming to you live here from Langlands Park here in Coorparoo, ready for 3 matchups, starting off with the women's matchup here between the Gold Coast Stingrays and the Bayside Ravens ladies team, competing in their first Summerbowl in their first ever season. So upcoming is Summerbowl 4, followed by Bunbowl 31, followed by Colt. The guys are ready to run out of the field any second now, so if you could all be upstanding for the national anthem, we'll be cutting to you live in a second. Kenny Andres here, live from Langlands Park here in Coorparoo. All right, back in the booth I am, joined Kenny Andres here, resident voice of Gridiron Queensland, and today joining me is head coach of the Logan City Jets, Pete Farrar. How you doing, mate?
Very good, Kenny. Thank you for inviting me along today to be a part of this.
My absolute pleasure. Oh, and we're about to see these other 2 teams for Gridiron Queensland, the women's division, coming out to compete here in Summerbowl 4, starting off with the Bayside Ravens and Gold Coast Stingrays.
Send the teams through, guys. Send the teams through. Send both teams out at the same time, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Bayside Ravens. And now your Gold Coast Stingrays. Pete, you're looking at this field here today and these 2 fields coming up. The Summerbowl has certainly come, or shall I say the state championships have certainly come a long way from early in the 90s when the first inception of Gridiron Queensland.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you go back a little bit further, back to the mid to late 80s. I mean, we were playing on old disused rubbish dumps. There's a famous story about one year where we were playing and you could see a roof of a car.
Absolutely, and if you pay attention to some of the team lists going across now, first up is the Bayside Ravens. Key name on there is going to be Denise Pepe, and will she be playing a quarterback, linebacker, or both today?
Well, my mail is that she's playing quarterback today.
Oh, there we go. First evident. Obviously, they have lost starting quarterback Rachel Duchapan 2 weeks ago, and she's not going to be playing in this game today, but upcoming, we've got the coin toss coming up between the 2 captains. The referees are ready at the 50-yard line, ready for the captains.
Guys, break them, get them ready for coin toss, guys.
We're looking at the Stingrays lineup now, and another name up. We'll talk the other quarterback now, Lauren Evans, starting a quarterback this year for the Stingrays, and she's done a good job. 15 touchdowns, I believe it was.
She's a fantastic quarterback. Been around for since the inception of the female gridiron in Queensland. Very, very accurate on a short pass. So she's also got the ability to scramble, which makes her the double threat.
Absolutely. So we've got the officials coming up now. So head referee today is going to be the veteran Tim Redshaw. And umpiring there is Dave Hodkinson, and heads lineman is Lee Stevens. Nick Day will be your line judge. Joe Goslin, your back judge. Field judge will be Barbara Johnson. Side judge, Tony Fluker. And our centre judge will be Clyde Summers. And that's one heck of a referee list there. Absolute all-stars of our Gridiron Queensland referees. We've got both teams huddling now as we're about to get the coin toss going on. You can see there the Ravens huddle there. A very close-knit unit for a team in their first year here in the women's division of Gridiron Queensland.
And it's fantastic to see a first-year team make it through to the Summerbowl. They were the Seawolves in year one of the FGLQ, but they've been Stingrays since that time. The Ravens, pretty much a new team. A few players have come from other clubs, but mostly for geographical reasons, which shows us that women's football is growing in this country, in this state. It'd be great to see the Ravens today actually take the fight and possibly win the game.
Yeah, you certainly hope so.
The Stingrays are quite a formidable force. There's no denying that. They're well led, well coached. The Ravens, can't quite call them a rookie team, but they're a team that have really they've really made other teams stand up and take notice this year.
You're not wrong, and I think this is, is this going to be considered a giant versus, or say
The David and Goliath
fight between these teams? Or?
Actually, yeah, and I don't want to take anything away from the Ravens, but they're a team that's only in their first year, and that sounds a lot worse than I'm meaning it to. The Stingrays are a big team, as in numbers, and very skilled players, and they've been to the big dance already. Overtime last year, they won it the year before that against the Jets as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the notable absence today is the Jets. But the Jets' injury list looks like a public waiting list for a Queensland Hospital orthopaedic ward at the moment. But we certainly, as the Jets, are absolutely thrilled to see these two teams playing today.
Well, that's it. This is the one game separating this being a complete replay of 2014 state championships.
Yep.
As you noted, the Jets being the absence in favour of the Bayside Ravens here today, but it's still going to be three classic matchups. I mean, it's a different order today. This was the last game played this year. This time they're getting the 12:30 slot, which, to be honest, isn't as warm as I thought it was going to be today. It's sitting about 27, 28. We're not hitting the 30s today, so that's good news.
It's muggy, but I think the good thing is there's a fair bit of cloud cover around today.
Yeah.
So although the heat is going to take its toll on the players running around, and the players aren't actually, they're all wearing dark colours, some ventilation in.
That's exactly right. And big look at this. You're looking at the coin toss there from the Gold Coast Stingrays. They're having, I think that's some of their youth program coming up with them, which is a fantastic showing. I think they did this in their last matchup. The seniors did this in the last matchup with the Bayside Ravens. It's a great showing and a great sign of development here for our youth programs in Gridiron Queensland. Both the Ravens Stingrays and, of course, your club there are proud creators of junior programs. Well, certainly hoping that that grows throughout the next couple of seasons.
Well, it's an absolute positive. And we're about to go off to the coin toss.
Yeah, we'll hold off now and wait for the referee calls there, and we'll get back talking about the junior programs in a second. But we'll leave you with the coin toss.
Thank you.
Now we're seeing the coin toss there, and is that the Ravens electing to receive there?
That's what it looked like to me. They'd won the toss and elected to receive.
So yeah.
Always a massive tactical decision for coaches to
Absolutely,
make.
yeah.
Do you take the ball if you win the toss? Do you defer to second half? You don't know what the game's going to be going like. I'm pretty sure that the Stingrays' plan at the moment is to try and hold the Ravens the best they can, because they're pretty good team, pretty explosive, the Ravens. But so are the Stingrays.
Absolutely. Both offenses proven they can score some points. However, the Ravens look like today they will be without star wide receiver Sinead Houghton, who is one of their deep threats. So we'll see if that affects their game plans today. The Stingrays, as far as I know, quite a healthy unit. Should be boasting the same team that competed against them a couple of rounds ago, where they won by a touchdown in the fourth quarter.
And that was a fantastic game. Absolutely. That was the one up the Sunshine Coast. The Ravens, dare I say it, had the game on toast. They had it, and the Stingrays came back, scored 3 unanswered touchdowns to take the game with only a very, very small amount of time left on the clock.
It was an impressive show of display there. Appreciate out to fellow live stream company, Calling All Sports, Brisbane TV, John Devine, I believe, is on the call there. Give me a shout out. Appreciate you listening, John. We're about to look at the kickoff now. Gold Coast will be kicking off. Set to kick off is number 12 here for the Gold Coast.
Mika. The
And
regular
Summerbowl
kicker.
4 about to proceed, and it goes up with a bang, quite literally. Kesha Mono, she fumbles the ball, she picks it up now. Can she find some space? Tries to get the outside, but is tackled there by initial contact there by number 21.
There was a few Stingrays in on that. 21-45, which is CJ. Number 6 in there for a bit of fun and giggles as well.
Yeah, Amy Henry making the initial contact on that play. Had a chat about her with long friend but current today opposition, Lucy Jerez, who are good friends. We talked about how if it comes down to it, they're neither of them afraid to make the big hit to win the game today against each other. So friendship is out the window here for this for the next hour or so.
There is no friendship in championship games.
That's exactly right.
And that's one of the big things that sticks out in the female competition here. These girls, for 90% of them, all know each other, all get on very well, talk to each other outside the game.
Yeah, which is fantastic to see. Friendly competition. Denise Pepe answers the question of who'll be playing quarterback. She takes it now on a quarterback option. She's going to take the first carry and might go back to the line of scrimmage there. So we're looking at a second, maybe 9 upcoming for the Bayside Ravens. Just reminding everyone who will be watching over the live stream that the chat is open. So feel free to chat into us. Happy to read your comments and get involved if you cannot be at the game today. Already hearing Phil Herden for Faraz voice again here there, so you've already got some fans going, mate.
Phil Herden was in Queensland back in the 90s and helped us put the team the Marauders together. Very successful.
Pass play in second down now, but Denise Pepe is going to scramble here, and it's fantastic defense there by the Stingrays, shutting that play down. And I think it'll actually be a sack. We'll see if there was a loss of yard there. Checking that out on replay here, Coach. It looks good, and she is taken down by a swarm of blue. So we'll trust the referees there. They've got a better view than we do.
Certainly wouldn't want to be questioning the referees.
So we've got it. So the Stingrays boast this ferocious pass rush. And they're playing some man on in the passing game. It's a pass there intended for Grace Power, but it's going to go over her head and fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up fourth down and a likely punting situation on their first drive. Coach.
Well, you would assume that there's going to be a punt from here. Most of the coaches in the female league won't punt if it's very close to half. It looks like you're 31 and a half yards. You can't afford to let a Stingrays offense have the ball this close to your line.
Yeah, especially this early in the game, you don't want to be giving any cheap momentum. So it does look like Marissa Hayes is back there to punt, back deep to return.
Yeah.
And it's going to get whistled dead there. We'll get a call from the referees.
Well, it's against the Ravens.
Yeah, it's a false start there. We've got some fans here from Melbourne checking in as well, appreciating the field. And I will mention this field is absolutely fantastic. These logos, the beautiful green grass. It's a beautiful presentation for Gridiron football today. The punt is going to be attempted again by Hayes.
Ball's gone!
She's hit off on a kick and the flag is coming out. That's an automatic first down, but we will wait and see what happens.
The hold and wait. The return is going to be made here by Zoe Barnett, who's hauled in a number of awards in last week's Gridiron Awards, the young rookie.
offensive back. She won a bronze medallion for that last week at the awards, and totally deserved as well.
I believe she was also.
Who
in
was
run
the
for rookie.
low
Is she
block
rookie of
anyway?
the year? I think she's a rookie this year. Zoe
Do you
Barnett.
see the low block number?
Now you're testing me, Ken. Be easy.
Then don't call me an honest man. But yeah, Zoe Barnett, otherwise recognised.
Running
as a-
into the kicker. Offense,
an absolute-
defense. Sorry, running the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat the kick.
As I said there, the 5-yard penalty. So it's only running into the kicker, coach, not roughing the kicker. So that exists only a 5-yard penalty rather than the automatic first down. So likeliness, it would just be another punt attempt again. But the Stingrays lucky not to give up a cheap first down there. So looking at a 4th and I'll give it a 12.
Fourth and a miracle.
Oh, 4th and 10, 4th and 10. But
Yeah.
Hayes here with her third punt of the day. And it goes there. Sale, it's going to come down around the 35. Once again, Barnett catches it on the full. She's got some space on the left-hand side. She's going to cut it back inside and is going to get a great return, putting it in Raven territory. She's going to have it around the 30. So, a Ravens going 3 and out in their first possession. And we're going to see Lauren Evans coming on, leading our offense here for their first offensive possession of the game. Talk us through this offense again. You mentioned they've got a strong short passing game, but what else is outstanding about this Stingrays offense, Coach?
Well, one of the most dangerous things they've got is a very, very agile and mobile backfield.
Yes, sir.
Number 9 Zoe hurts teams with her running ability. She's small, she's agile, and she's fast.
We're about to see her. She's in the backfield now with Evans. 2 receivers out there, a loaded backfield now. It's going to be a give odds on their first offensive play of the game. So that's going to be a 2nd and 14 coming up here for the Rays. So both teams struggling on their first their first play, I should say.
Well, that was very unfortunate. It looked as though she tripped over from a blade of grass, or there was a sniper in the light tower which got her. The Ravens, the Stingrays, don't run an overly complicated offense, but they run a lot of plays out of the one formation.
And they do it well. Evans in the backfield now. Takes a snap, going to give to 31. She's going to take it to the left-hand edge. She's got some space. She's past the original line of scrimmage. Can she get the first down? She'll be very close.
Storm Gow with a very strong run there.
Absolutely. The wide receiver up back.
Same play as what they were.
Looks like it's going to be short.
Oh, it's going to be short. Looks very much like the same play they were just run. They've just flip it.
Yeah, you said yourself, they don't run it. Formation-wise, there isn't a whole lot, but they run so many different plays out of that one formation. It is hard to game plan against.
And the worst thing is you've got about 4 people that are actually eligible to take the ball and have the choice of taking the ball. And I'm not sure if it's predetermined that much or if it's what Lauren reads by the defence.
Yeah, well, she's got 3 technically, we'll call them running backs, although they're more tight ends, up back positions. But on top of that, she can launch that ball to those 2 receivers on the outside. So a very well-rounded offense here by the Stingrays. Evans, another give to Barnett. Barnett up the middle, a strong run there. Picks up the first down and then some.
And as much as you've got to give some credit to the running back on that offensive line just absolutely monstered the Ravens D-line on that play.
That A-gap, and she converts. She makes well of her good blocking. Another big carry.
One thing we found this year through pretty much all the teams is they've all gone to a 3-man front or 3-person front. Ravens have stayed in the traditional 2 a lot more.
See another carry here from Barnett. She's going to test the left-hand edge and once again picks up a good chunky yardage, 7, 8, maybe 9 yards. And just pay attention. You talked about their offensive line. Let's look at this one here again. You see that double team at the point of attack, which is working well for them early in this in the first period of this game.
You're only as good as your offensive line. It doesn't matter what team you are and what running back you've got in the backfield. If your offensive line doesn't work and it doesn't open the holes for you, you've got no chance.
Absolutely. The engine room, they don't call it that for nothing.
Tammy Napier, their number 7, he's a veteran of the league. I believe she picked up offensive line.
I believe so she did, yeah.
And well she should have too.
This time it's Barnett, again testing that left-hand edge. Some great blocking by our wide receivers there, and ultimately it's number 6, Tiafi Thurston, making the tackle. And that's another first down, and they're well and truly knocking on the door of their first score today here.
They're on the march. I think they're about 5 yards out by where the officials are standing, maybe 4.5 yards out. This has been a very, very productive drive by the Stingrays.
Now they've run it down the throat of the Ravens to get into the position they are in now. Is it one of those things where you just do what got you down there, or do you test the play action here in this play?
Well, that's up to the individual coach. If you've got something that's working, why fix it?
Yeah, if it ain't
Why
broke.
change it?
So this time they're going to a slightly different formation here. A slot receiver out to the right now, and it's going to be a give though to Bonnet, and she is taken in the backfield there by the combination of Denise Pepe and Trish Cameron.
Both
the two
the,
former Stingrays linking up there to make a play.
Two former Stingrays. It was like an old reunion, wasn't it? The outside linebackers at the Ravens and also the Stingrays run very, very similar in their positioning on the field. They come in very tight into the D line, so it actually looks as though they're extra D linemen but in an upright position. Makes it very hard to run the angles, especially off tackle plays.
Look at that now, 2nd and goal now, just inside 10 yards. It's going to be a pass play again, the second so far. Evans launches it, touchdown Stingrays! No flags, this score will stand. They take first blood in this Summerbowl 4 matchup. The catch on there, Riley Hodgson. Touchdown on the play there. You saw it on replay there. It was just, I think it was a slant there behind the defense and just some fantastic hands, Coach.
And you'll also notice too that the Stingrays changed their formation slightly. They sent out 2 receivers on the left-hand side, which made the linebacker on that side go out and honour that receiver.
Indeed.
So that then stops a little bit of the pressure coming from the other side. So it all works. Good play calling by Rob, if Rob's sending the plays in for the Stingrays.
So 6-0, the Rays go. They're looking for a 2-point conversion here. They're going to turn the jet sweep. And can she get in? I think the Ravens might have held her out. That was Storm Gara on the carry there.
I've seen that play before.
Of course, a play made famous there by the Logan City Jets here in the women's division. But that play is shut down. But nonetheless, the Rays get on the board and they lead 6-0.
I'd hate to see how much she missed out on. She must have been so close on that play.
Yeah, you can just see that knee come down, and she could maybe rotated that body, but...
Good call by the officials, though, I think.
Yeah, fantastic call there. Tim Redshaw, the white hat referee today.
Tim's been around since Noah played fullback for Jerusalem within the game. He's refereed for so many years. And he's got a pretty good strike rate of getting the calls right, too, which is not casting any dispersions on him. It's actually giving him a little bit of praise.
Just a reminder to anyone here at the grounds here, there is a jumping castle at the far end of the field. If your kids are a bit tired, feel free to send them there, tire them out so you can watch some football. There's also plenty of merch in the can bar around that same side of the field where you can get your beverages and enjoy the game of Gridiron here today. The kickoff down there, it's going to land on the 30. Kesha Trias-Mono is going to watch it go out of bounds here, and we'll see if Andy Miller... Most people will take the yards, but Andy Miller not afraid to take the re-kick in these situations.
I've always been a big fan of taking the re-kick. It pushes the kicking team back further. You don't know where the ball's going to go. You don't know what's going to happen. And it gives you the opportunity to maybe run the ball back.
Especially when you've got a return that like Trias-Mono, who's proven her ability in the open field. So...
Kestra's absolutely blossomed this year, coming over to the Ravens. She was fortunate enough to pick up the gold medal for offensive back and also the MVP and the MVP for the offense for the league.
Illegal procedure. Kicking team. Kick out of bounds untouched. 5-yard penalty. Re-kick.
As we said, the kick going out of bounds there. For those who may be watching for the first time, unlike rugby league there, kick going out of bounds is not rewarded to the kicking team. It's rewarded to the receiving team there. You've got to keep that ball in bounds.
Unless someone touches it.
Unless someone touches it. Or it can also go out the back of the end zone on the full or on the bounce, doesn't matter. Not too much harm done. The offensive team will start at the 20, but in this case, ball going out of bounds on the sidelines there, pushes them back, and now they're kicking back at the 25-yard line.
And the other thing to remember too, Kenny, is the ball in this game is live once it's travelled 10 yards.
The arms of Kesha Trias-Mono. She's going to look for a blocks here, cuts up past one tackler, and she is tackled there right on halfway. So, sitting about where they would have been anyway, but they had the opportunity.
Actually, I think this might have come out a little bit more positively for the Ravens. I think they've improved by a couple of yards. But that exactly goes to what I'm saying before about you've got the opportunity to have the re-kick, push them back, make them kick further. It also puts a little bit more pressure on the kicker too,
Yeah.
because they then start thinking. The beauty of this game is that you should be doing everything as reflex. The more you think, the more chances things are to go wrong.
Absolutely. That's why they preach reps, reps, reps.
Yep.
Ravens on their second offensive possession now. First and down. Pepe in the backfield as quarterback. Gives the Trias Mono on the dive play. Can she get the blocking? No, she can't. Big play there by the Rays. They're going to lose a chunk of yardage there, the Ravens.
That was predominant. Came up, read the fullback, absolutely bounced the fullback. Poor orchestra had nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a size match up there between Sammy Harris and CJ Sims there.
Yeah. But that's the beauty of our game.
It's a chess match, as they say. Pushing again, the jumping castle for those around here, and the can bar. Fun for both kids and adults, down to the car park side there. And obviously our merch as well, for those looking to support their the local league. Plenty of Gridiron Queensland merch here on 2nd and 18. And a timeout's going to be taken here by the Ravens, it looks like. First time out of the game.
I wonder if Andy Miller, head coach of the Ravens, has just seen something he doesn't like, wants to try something else, change up a few things, and that's why he's called the timeout. The Ravens aren't actually doing too badly. They're just
Failure to wear
not
mandatory
getting
equipment.
the luck
Offense,
that comes
number
with
40.
running your plays. They're
Charge
not getting
team
the string
timeout.
at the end.
Absolutely. That leads us to the first match day sponsor. Gridiron Queensland is pleased to introduce Vulcan Fireworks as match sponsor for Summerbowl 4. Vulcan Fireworks provides a superb range of professionally fired fireworks displays for your special event. We will add that extra spectacle and magic event to your event, lighting up the sky to ensure your event is remembered. Your imagination is our creation. So big thanks to Vulcan Fireworks. We've already seen some of their work today on the kickoff, the big bang there, and I think also on the entrance there. So they've definitely added a nice little special touch to our Summer Bowl over the last 2 seasons.
I think it's a wonderful thing that they've been involved. Full hats off to the person who was able to bring them in. Last year was spectacular, especially as the day wore on and the sun went down, but not taking anything away from what was happening during the day as well.
So we're getting a question here on the chat saying, why 8-minute quarters? So the game used to exist as 30-minute halves running clock. We now go to shorter quarters, but there is regulation timing. So incomplete passes getting out of bounds stops the clock there. So it keeps the same sort of time, but a much more familiar time sort of schedule for coaches. Denise Pepe with a big play there. She's going to get a lot of those yards back and might have even picked up a first on the speed option. Pete Farrar.
Well, that's Ravens' bread and butter. The beauty of the option is, I don't know if the pitch is going to go out. When you've got a quarterback like Denise, she's got a set of wheels. She really does have a good ability to run, and she has a great ability to read where the holes are as well.
On top of that, she's a very powerful runner as well. I mean, it's hard to take her down at initial contact, and she'll drag you for another 1 or 2 yards, and that time she did enough to get the first down, which is an amazing play on a 2nd and 18. So the timeout well served there by head coach Andy Miller.
Well, Andy will take full credit for it anyway.
Pepe once again in the backfield. Trips to the left this time. It's a tight end reverse. Jacinda Lee Greenwood's looking for blocks. She's going to cut it upfield there and tackled there by number 8 and number 90 for the Stingrays.
Jacinda Lee Greenwood there with a nice little, I suppose you call that a bit of an end around.
Yeah, a nice little inside give to the tight end there.
I think the best part was that the way she waited for it to develop downfield. She was taking her time. She was waiting for the blocks to develop.
And she does well. Look at that. She's a patient runner, and then the tackle there eventually being made by number 8, Holly Montgomery. Also a reminder today, guys, today's e-program is available electronically from www.playgridiron.com or from the newsletter button on Team App. If you don't have Team App, get amongst it. Ravens, another first down. Pepe, she is going to get into the line of scrimmage, so that one doesn't work as well as the last one 2 plays ago.
Looked almost like she was trying to set up for a veer play, but I think I don't think that the QB and the running back were quite on the same page on this one.
So we're coming towards the back end of the first quarter. Running down the last couple of seconds here. I'm sure we'll be taking a walk at any moment. And that should be quarter time. Yep. quarter one in this Summerbowl 4 matchup, and we're going to take the walk down, exchange sides.
Well, what an interesting first quarter, Kenny. We've seen the Ravens, I'll use the term stutter in their first drive. They just could, and I think it wasn't quite coming off. And this game is when they had the ball, showed no fear, ran the ball as hard as they possibly could, and were lucky enough to score on a pass play. So I don't think we're seeing anything that's overly different to what we were expecting.
Absolutely. So about to start the second quarter. Big thanks to Vulcan Fireworks, just gave a shout out to them earlier. And as well as Motor and Marine will be sponsoring a game later today. And Stampede Sports, our brand new sponsor here for Gridiron Queensland and Summerbowl. And finally, Impact Sports, play hard, play fair. So we'll see how things change. I mean, you touched on how the Stingrays the first drive, and they were methodical. They drove, they ran their different plays, all in the run plays and finishing off through the air. It was well drawn up by the Gold Coast Stingrays.
I'd actually love to know who's doing the play calling. I believe Rob probably is over there, and I think Rob has got a pretty solid idea of what he wants to do in today's game. I think, you know, especially nowadays, the way every coach see Rob has probably done his homework pretty well today.
Pepe takes it, snaps good. Looking for a pass play here for the Ravens, intended for Grace Power, but it falls off the hands and that's incomplete. That'll bring up a third down and long here for the Ravens. So the Ravens proving that they're not afraid to pass themselves, and incomplete, both intended for Grace Power. But it's something they do need to, you know, they always say you need to stick to the run game and honour the run game, but I think it's almost important to add, a touch of passing in there as well to keep the defense.
You're just totally predictable, and if you get that, your standard.
Another pass play here from Pepe, and this was intended for Marissa Hayes, but that one falls at her feet, and that's going to bring up fourth down. However, field position dictates that they should probably go for it here.
Well, I wouldn't be punting here. This is worth the shot. You never know what's going to happen. This is where you run things like hard counts. This is where you run a whole heap of different things that you can try and draw a penalty to start to give you another 5 yards to give you another go to go.
Precisely, and it's not the worst thing in the world if you fail here. They're still starting in our own territory. I won't call it deep in their own territory, but well and truly in their own territory. So we'll see what the Ravens can draw up here. They've gone to the passing well the last couple of plays. They've gone to a trip set out now to the left. Sammy Harris, the back in the backfield. They're going to go option right with Pepe and Harris. Can Pepe make something happen here? She's going to have to work some magic to get anywhere near the first. And that magic shines happen. And that'll be a turnover on downs. And here comes Lauren Evans and the rest of that, although the 6-point Stingrays offense at them. Tried it again, and yeah, it just didn't pull off that time. It's one of those things that it can pull out miracles sometimes, the option play, but it's hard to convert. Passing down with an option play.
Well, you see, she's read it as a run very early, and which has taken the option away for making the yards on the ground. Still not a bad play call, though, I must say. I don't think it was.
They're starting around their own 22-yard line, it looks. A player in motion. It's going to be a pass play here by Evans. Gives it to the motion player. That's number 81. She's going to find some blocks, get around Clifton. She's got a first down and is going to get past the 40 there. A nicely designed play there by the Stingrays.
Nice little fake handoff to the tight end coming around, and then a quick dump pass to the same player.
Bianca Johnson there, the wingback on that play, making the big play. Her first touch of the football today, I believe. There's a little play action and then dumps off to the same player. Just that little play action, even though it ultimately gets to the player they fake to, it just freezes those linebackers enough to get her open.
A lot of linebackers nowadays are taught to take a two-step read step. A lot of them, it's very hard for them to get into that mindset to take the 2 steps.
Yeah.
If you show play action, regardless of out of what formation, you'll usually get a linebacker to bite on the play action.
That's it. We'll see if they go there again. Going to take a. We're talking about that running game from their first drive. They've since gone away from that.
Stingrays,
They've
first
gone to
charge,
a slight
team
passing
timeout.
look here, but I'm just looking at the yards made from here. Like, you look at their wing backs and their running back stats, evenly split between their ball carriers. 430 there by Storm Hughes for the season, 390 there, Bianca Johnson. Barnett picking up 275. It's evenly split between this team, so you can't really single out one individual ball carrier who does the damage.
No, you've got to have your different points of attack, and good teams have that. You've got to have your options. one thing you mentioned about the Stingrays are going away a little bit from the run on this quarter. I think that you'll find that the Stingrays are up 6-0. They want to try and control. The easiest way to do that is to run, and that's what everyone's going to expect. But if they mix it up with a combination of run and pass, this is where they chew the clock up dramatically and also maintain possession of the ball. They don't want the Ravens to have the ball.
Absolutely, they definitely like to play that traditional offense, which is pounding that rock and holding the clock, and then playing some good defense here. First down, and it's going to be another give inside there. I think it's number 80 well on that play there. I think that was Denise Pepe.
Yeah,
making
number
a play
40,
there.
Denise in there.
Playing quarterback and also inside linebacker today, or outside back, I should say.
She's just trying to make sure she gets her money's worth for the season, be on the field as long as she possibly can.
And then you see also Trish Cameron coming in, finishing off that play there. And I think from what I'm standing, it looks like it was a first down there.
Very interesting to see.
Just a three-step drop with it. This mightn't have been as, I think, our 3rd and 3, approximately.
Well, actually, Kenny, you thought it was first down. I didn't for a moment.
My apologies. I'll speak for myself. 3rd, and we'll give it 2.5. The give now is to Barnett. Can Barnett truck forward? She can. And over Denise Pepe she goes.
Beautiful.
Oh, no. Check that. It was actually, she faked me out. It was actually a give to number 7.
Number 7, Lauren Evans
she
actually
kept it.
beautiful
She took
play
it
action.
outside.
Kept the ball, went herself, had the pitch person outside if required, decided to go herself, which she did, and made first down plus at least a yard.
You know it's a well-drawn play when you're faking out the commentators here. Or at least me.
Well, don't worry, coaches get mixed up and miss handoffs as well. Why is that gone there? Oh, hang on, no, it was a hand fake, yeah.
So a well-run play there by the quarterback, Evans. In that remain, Evans looking to her right. Mel Kelly's the 2nd and 10 upcoming.
That one, unfortunately, that ball came out, looks like it came out from the back of her hand. Lauren has got an exceptional arm for accuracy in the shorter passes. So that 10 to 15 yard range, she's absolutely deadly. And we saw that with that quick slant a couple of plays ago.
Yeah.
Just spot on the money. And timing routes, she absolutely loves. Lauren is a very intelligent young lady, an absolute asset.
I'm sure we'll see a lot more balls thrown to the way.
It looks like Tammy Napier lined up there as tight end, number 70. I would expect something here.
Changes. Yeah, it's going to be a toss play to the left. They're going to run to the power side. But Denise Pepe's there to make a play. And did she go out of bounds? Yes, she did. So she was taken out of bounds at about the 41, maybe 40 and a half yard mark line, shall I say. Yard line well, and they put a shot down on that play.
Very interesting looking formation, putting one of your offensive guards out there as a tight end to block downfield. I think that would have worked a lot better if but it's very easy to say that while I'm sitting up here in an air-conditioned booth.
However, something worth noting there is that Denise Pepe's walked off that play a little shaken up after making that tackle as Evans looks to her right again. Completed pass to Barnett. And is it a catch and fumble? Regardless, she's recovered it. So it's just whether it's incomplete or not, it looked like a catch to me and a fumble that she's recovered.
Yep.
And yeah, so...
Well, I would argue that she caught that ball and actually made a football move. She looks as though she took a couple of steps and then had the ball stripped in the tackle. So she's recovered. And I'm quite glad when quarterbacks do that because it just reiterates what I just said about Lauren with her short, sharp passing.
Mm-hmm. So also just a reminder, is ready to go. So any kids or adults looking to get their face painted, Miss Spanish is ready to paint you. So make your way down there. The pass intended to Mel Kelly once more, but it goes over her head and falls incomplete. I was just about to say a couple of plays ago, we will see a lot of targets to Miss Kelly over on that side there. She's a talented wide receiver.
Yeah, she certainly is. She knows how to make herself available or present, as I like to call it. So she presents herself as a valid target every pass play. And
that, of course, was a turnover and down there, so the Ravens stand up there. The drive was looking promising, but the Ravens' defense stands up around the start of their own territory and send their offense back on now. And here comes Trish Cameron and Denise Pepe, along with Sammy Harris and a couple of these other talented Ravens players. As I say, Sammy Harris was on the field, now she's coming off.
It's the curse of a commentator, isn't it? I think the Ravens really need to have a feather stuck in their hat over that series. The Stingrays probably made about 30 yards for that total drive.
And just the camera was just on number 52 there. I believe that's Lon Tulloch, if I'm correct. She is a key player in this defense. As the long pass again attempted for Gracie Power. It falls incomplete, falling over them. She looked like she had the step on there, but maybe she got the hands out a bit too early. It might have...
The ball was just a step ahead, and she then makes her lose her balance. Nice effort, though.
Yes.
And that's what you want to see from players. You want to see the effort being put in.
The first deep pass today, Bivens. Both attempted to Grace Power, so she's been the key aerial target so far. Marissa Hayes sure to get some attempts as well. She's had one look her way. And Pepe launches it once again over the middle. Will this be intercepted? It could have been. Coverage there by number 12, Mika Dagi. Goes through the hands, though, and as the old adage goes, is that why she plays defense?
I was about to say, Mika. I could be wrong, but I think Mika played a little bit of wide receiver in the first year of the FGLQ, and I think that's why she's now overplaying defense. But Mika does get her fair share of interceptions as well. I must give her full credit for that. The interesting thing with the Ravens at the moment is that the productivity of passing deep is never high. Every yard that you try to pass the ball past 10 yards increases the chance of an interception by X amount of percent. But I tell you what, when they connect,
they make big plays.
Yeah.
The option play this time out to Cameron. She's got some wheels going. She cuts it back inside, breaks that tackle. Now she's off to the outside. Can she break the last one? No, she can't. So she'll get that ball back to the line of scrimmage, but it was looking promising for a brief second there for the veteran player in this Raven unit.
It was a good run. She could see that her outside was starting to shut down. She tried to reverse the field and turn back inside. I think, unfortunately, there was just too many blue jerseys heading her way.
They moved sideline to sideline well. Free safety there, Mika Dagi. We joke about her drop.
Very good player, Mika. Reads very well and has a really good ability to get in there and disrupt stuff in the backfield. Punt by Marissa.
Punt here by the Ravens. Marissa Hayes getting a nice friendly bounce there to try and make a play. But she beats Castro-Trasmono. No, she doesn't. Castro-Trasmono makes a great play here on special teams, taking them down inside the 15-yard line there. So kids at home watching, that's how you do not give up on the play. She initially looks beat, circles back, and makes the play around the ankles. Well done.
But she was beat too, and she was outnumbered 2-1. And you'll see that is exactly what you said. She just did not give up. She was determined to stop the ball down there. And it looks like the ball's being spotted on about the 14-yard line. Now, there's not many more yards that you'd like to be close to, so that's good.
Absolutely. As I said, you don't often get huge punts like that, at least this season. We haven't seen a whole lot of huge punts here in the women's division, so that's a ginormous punt that gets the Ravens out of bad territory.
And I don't think it's a case, too, that teams don't practice punts, because I know that they do. I think it's just the luck of finding someone who can punt within the team with some accuracy and with a little bit of distance. The other big thing is, too, I think we're starting to see a little bit more of that creep in when you've got so many women now moving from sport to sport.
Yes, yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. I was just noticing the punting game in the men's division recently has improved, and I think that's with the increase of the AFL players coming over. I think it won't be long to we're seeing the same thing happen in the women's division as this women's league develops in popularity. I think we'll start seeing some of these AFL athletes come along to give our sport a try. And
personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Receiving team, number 45. Personal foul, face mask. Kicking team, number 14. Those penalties offset, replay the down, 4th down.
Some naughty behaviour happening there from both teams, which will just offset the penalties.
Coach killers, they're called.
Coach killers, indeed.
That's where you have heart attacks on sidelines because you've had such a great play, but unfortunately someone's done something a little bit thinking a little bit too hot-headedly. They happen. There's nothing you can do about them. It's just a part of the game.
Unfortunately, what happens here is that takes away that great punt there from Marissa Hayes and the great chase by Castro-Trasmono, and they're going to have to re-punt here. And we'll see if Hayes can produce the same sort of torpedo kick she pulled out last time and get that awkward bounce, which posed a bit of trouble here. This time it's Mel Kelly back to return, I think. And the punt's going to go up, not the same length and a much more friendly angle. It's still bobbled there. The ball is live, and Grace Power's going to take her down there. So the Stingrays will benefit from that situation and get a few more yards there. But a little scary period there when Kelly bobbled that fumble there with Grace Power in pursuit.
I've got to tell you, it might not have been as good as the first punt, but you don't mind that sort of coverage if you're the punting team. That was exceptional.
Absolutely. It's another good tackle there by the special teams unit. I'm happy to see that jumping castle in the far side of the field filling up there. It's looking heck of fun. And if I wasn't in this air-conditioned booth, I think that might be the next best place I'd be.
That plastic would be hot. But ideal for kids.
Evans, shotgun, plenty of receivers, but they give us to Barnett. Up the middle she goes, nice inside juke move. She picks up a first down and wow, she can get downfield in a heartbeat, can't she?
Oh, she's got some speed.
Not just speed, but quickness. She changes direction, puts that foot in the dirt and gets upfield very quickly. But we've got to play her down now. It is the ball carrier, Barnett. She's rolled over. We'll see if we can get what happened here in the tackle. She might have just rolled awkwardly. There are a lot of Ravens there, a lot of ankles getting tangled up.
I think it might be just that it was a bit of a pile.
Yeah, I can't see anything indicative, but
I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee, and I can't quite tell by the way first aid are looking. She's moving around a fair bit, which is a good sign, but it's also can be a negative sign.
well, that's it, yeah.
Knee injuries this year across the league, for whatever reason, have been almost catastrophic.
They have been huge. We discussed on Cafe Americain how many knee injuries there have been all across the league between your team, the Ravens, the Stingrays. I'm not sure how many they've had to deal with, but I know the Panthers dealt with a couple as well.
Yeah,
So-
and the interesting thing is, so you look down the sidelines and you look at, on both teams here today, when the camera pans down, just have a look, and there's a lot of players wearing a jersey, but they're not kitted up to play, and predominantly they're knee injuries. Never seen it before. No one's too sure why it's happening.
Yeah. One of the biggest ones there, obviously, Rachel Duchebrand going out with an ACL injury in her final regular season game, which put an unfortunate end to her season prematurely before the playoffs. Game. Evans now looking deep, winding up. A bit too much, few too many wheat beaks on that play. The pass intended to Riley Hodgson, but it falls incomplete, and that's going to bring down.
But it's exactly what I was saying before about the deeper passes just aren't as effective. The short much greater percentage in getting a completion.
Yeah. The adage, fortune favours the brave. Short manner, it went forward, so there'll be no dramas there. The pass intended to number 81.
Which just threw everything I just said straight out the window, because it was a nice short pass.
Yeah, had that pass fall there, she had a lot of green grass in front of her there, so.
She was open. That's the thing too, for quarterbacks. I've never been a quarterback. I mean, one look at my body will tell you I've never been able to play that position.
No.
But, shut up, kidding. Quarterbacks, if they start missing the odd pass, you can watch them slowly start to self-destruct. Now,
as we see another pass attempted by Evans, and it was in the hands, but out of the phalanges it falls. Number 20 on the attended receiver. That's again Mel Kelly getting another look her way, but you were saying...
well, the ball was right there in her hand. Very, very hard pass complete. But yeah, you watch some quarterbacks. If the passes aren't sticking, you'll see them start to fall apart, and you'll see the passes will...
David pass. Stingrays punt this away. Kesha Triasmono on the full. Mel Kelly on the coverage, and eventually taking out CJ Sims, finishing off that play with a monstrous hit. See that one on replay. See a nice catch there by the returner. Fantastic coverage by the Stingrays themselves, and now the Ravens will take over possession, only trailing 6 points here, 2:12 remaining in the half. 2-minute drill time here for the Ravens, and they'd love to go into this game tied up, or even better, up 2 points.
I think the big thing to remember is too that if you're a Ravens fan out there, you're only 6 points down. And if you're a Stingrays fan out there, you're only 6 points up. So this game is by no means over, and we're only approaching half time.
It's shaping up exactly as the matchup everyone would hope to be, a nice close matchup, only one touchdown separating these two teams at the moment. Giving a shout out to Jolene Bennett, one of your players, mate. She's very active on the chat at the moment. Reedy also chiming in, saying some great insight from my collar commentator Pete Friday, as we're seeing another
I wouldn't read anything out that David Reed's
trip
saying.
set. Trip set. Oh, again, intended for what looked like Grace Power. Falls incomplete, and that's going to set up second down here.
Mika again with an absolutely beautiful read. She knew that she had the coverage back there with another player. She tried to jump the ball, which was absolutely worth doing.
David Park agreeing with you that many former linemen would have loved to play quarterback. So the Ravens here, second down. Is this a situation where they try to get some short yardage here to try and build for an easier third down, or they just keep airing out and try to trust the arm of Pepe here?
Well,
As we move to a spread set, we haven't seen this so far today from the Ravens.
you don't want to turn the ball over this far downfield.
Going
Nice
long for
pass.
Hayes. Caught right at the 40. She's going to keep running. It's taken down inside Stingray territory. Just what we were saying. Should they attempt it? They do. They chance their hand, and Hayes comes up with the first big explosive play for the Ravens.
I'll give that a 35 to 40 yard pass. That
On the
was
fly.
That was absolutely beautiful, and that's exactly what we were saying before, Kenny. The big passes don't always work. The percentages are not always there. But I tell you what,
2 minute warning.
Tell me
2
what
minutes
was wrong with
remaining
that.
in the half.
Nothing at all.
Clock will start
Nothing
on
at all
the
if you're
snap.
supporting purple anyway. The Stingrays, they've been playing great coverage so far, as we're about to see a call from the referee here.
I think that was the 2 minute warning you just gave there, Ken.
Fantastic 2 minute warning there. So 2 minutes remaining in this half. The Ravens have put themselves in a position to potentially tie this game up and possibly take the lead if they can put themselves 6 points.
Left in this quarter, in this half. Stingrays get the ball back at the start of the second half.
Absolutely, because the Ravens chose to take the ball in the first. Give to Pepe. This one's going to be Cameron. Cameron, she's going to fumble the ball. Can they recover it? The Ravens, it's a dog pile now. Cameron, look. She was flipped on her back there, and now Amy Henry, the outside linebacker, has come away with the football.
This could actually be interesting. I hope it's being reviewed because there was actually a Ravens player there that was grabbed and pulled away, which was number 46, I think.
Yeah, Trish Cameron, the original ball carrier. So we'll see what the referees deem here. We'll cut to them
So,
in a moment.
Yep, she's grabbed, pulled away.
It's always that grey area, though. If you're competing for the ball, it's legal, but you know, to actually pull someone off the ball, very different story.
Well, I believe what it...
And I think we might be seeing a holding call here. So your point very well could stand. We're about to get the official call from referee Redshaw, I think. Nope, no call there. I think it's...
I didn't see a signal there, Ken. I don't know.
Now, I'm not sure how that happened. And now I'm hearing challenge from here. And that was before the play happened. So they're going to go review, and this is one of the beautiful parts of our Summerbowl. Given this beautiful production here by Paul Mills and Hockey Zone Productions, we can challenge plays and use the video to our advantage to get the right calls. As you can see, the little challenge banner coming up on the screen, meaning that the challenge referee believes that they should be looked over. And you can just see this. Let's break it down because this is a confusing play for all. There's what you're talking about.
So
there.
46 has got the ball and it's fallen out. She's dropped it herself. But she's actually impeded in trying to regather the ball. The other player has also taken themselves out of the play, but it's allowed another player to come in and and really muck up the possible recovery. So although that player's taken themselves out, I would argue that they've impeded that player from regathering the ball.
That's it. The rule book states if you're competing for the
Players
ball, you
under
can sort of
review.
jockey for position, but to actively remove something, of course, you can block them. But to pull them away from the ball itself, that is, of course, some sort of...
So I think you'll see Trish, when and if they play the replay again, Trish very clearly lost the ball herself. There was nothing that made her lose the ball. But it's her ability to regather the ball, I think, which should be, in my opinion, questioned. It doesn't mean that it is, though.
Go ahead and get the call now. So we're getting the official call now. Redshaw is about to announce it. This will be very interesting.
I don't know if it's going to be actually a game changer, but I think this actually has got some ramifications on the game. Now, the Ravens are still out there as offence at the moment.
After the review,
As in
the
they've
ruling on the
changed it to-
field is reversed. It was a Stingrays recovery, 1st and 10.
Wow.
So yeah, so the official call was the Ravens had the ball, they recovered the ball, and now that holding call is irrelevant. They're going to be claiming it. They're going to go to the original call that we saw, which was the Stingray recovery, and the Stingrays are going to have a chance now to try and put some points on the board in the back end of this first half.
Well, by the game clock, we're thinking that there's about a minute 44 remaining in this half.
And it's a give here to the wing back. She is going to get taken on there by TJ Wairama. And Tiafi Thurston also in that play. So regardless of the play here, both teams, particularly the Ravens, now just need to get it out of their head and play some football and keep this to a 6-point game.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the beauty of this game. It's over. Next play.
The Gold Coast Stingrays, they do not want much time in this huddle. They're getting plays going very quickly. And going back in this next play, it's over. Andy Miller always says one thing around any team he's coached: memory of a goldfish. You know, you make a mistake, forget about it, move on.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't afford to have a player dwell on something that hasn't worked their way. So Stingrays ran the first two plays there from no huddle. They've now dropped back into a huddle.
Taking advantage of that stopped clock from the incomplete pass.
About 1:23 remaining, which is heaps of time.
3rd and 10. That's formation. Number 31 snuffed out there by Lucy Jerez. The carry there by Storm Gower is going to be marked down for a loss of 4 yards. And the Ravens amping up now. Now, from my count, the Ravens still have 2 timeouts, and they're using one of those 2 timeouts remaining now. And that should give them some time, just over a minute here, to get the ball back.
Timeout.
And take one last
Timeout
shot at the end
Ravens.
zone
That's
here.
their second charge team timeout.
It's almost like a fairy tale ending, isn't it, to the half? But it's only half time.
It's only
That's
half
the thing.
time. That's exactly right. All right, big thank you again. Gridiron Queensland is pleased to introduce Vulcan Fireworks as match day sponsor for Summerbowl 4. Vulcan Fireworks provide that extra spectacle and magic to your event, lighting up the sky to ensure your event is well remembered. Your imagination is our creation. Big thank you again to Vulcan Fireworks for making our event that little bit more special, as this punt is likely more. Will it be a punt? I mean, how courageous are this Stingray unit feeling right now?
We've actually got the clock running at the moment, but on the scoreboard.
On the scoreboard there. Oh, it's just a timeout clock, so just to remind everyone there. So news to us as well.
There you go. There's some clarification for those of you at home. It's a timeout clock, so that's how much longer is left.
Then, so the official time is 1:07. And after this punt happens, if it is fielded cleanly, should leave the Ravens about 1 minute to try and march the ball down. But that is a tall order against this stifling Stingrays defense.
Well, if there's ever a time as a coach that you want a return for a touchdown, this is it.
Very well. This time it's Grace Power back to return. She's going to let it bounce, and she might just have to it's not been touched by a Raven, at least I've seen. So that will be down there by the Stingrays, and the Ravens will take possession at about their own 29. Let's just double check that. I mean, there hasn't been any calls. It looks like it was untouched, although number 6, Tiafi Thurston, came awfully close. So
No, I think that was clean.
yeah, I don't think there's any questions there. So the Ravens
They got 1 minute.
have 1 minute to march about 3/4 of this football field. Question here, a lot of their long passes has been aimed at Grace Power, but the one player who has hauled in one deep pass was Marissa Hayes.
Risk.
Who do you double here, or do you double at all? Do you trust your coverage as is? We'll soon see.
You've got to get your safeties to cheat.
Hang on, hold on.
Oh,
The
a
Stingrays'
conference.
offense is staying on there. Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. So it's going to be a Raven ball. Just when we thought there was no questions, questions were asked.
I think any defensive coordinator worth his salt would be making sure that the safety for the Stingrays is certainly aware that they've hooked up on one deep pass. So she has to cheat. And I think, although exactly as you said, they're passing one side, but the one big one has been picked up with Maris. Now, Maris is one of those players that if she's going to catch balls, she'll catch them all day. So she's already shown that she can catch a good pass. So this will be a very interesting series.
So they're keeping Doggy deep there as the lone sole defender, staying in this one high look. Pepe takes the snap. He's going to look over middle, throws off a back foot. Pass intended there for power and falls at the knees of Doggy, who's cheekily trying to claim an interception. I don't think it's going to stand.
That might have hit.
For some freakish chance at interception, it's going to be a heck.
Kenny, I bet she can't catch anything.
Wow, it could be close. I mean, we're not getting an official replay.
The ground. I'm old, my eyes aren't that good, but I think it hit the ground.
We're going to be lucky enough to get this. And just as I've called it, an official review is going to happen there. So they're going to take a replay of this because I thought she was just being cheeky, but Dougie was adamant she'd made a play on that ball and kept it off the ground. But
oh dear, that is so close.
just
Ruling
like
on the
just
field
like
of an
in college
incomplete
when they use
pass
it has to
is
be
under
irrefutable
challenge.
evidence to prove other than the call. The call that stands is incomplete unless they can get clear vision that this was a catch, which could be possible with some of the angles we've got here. The play will stand. It's hard to call.
Geez, I would have to think maybe simultaneous.
Making
Doing the
call.
officiating review today, that's a
Two big
hard
calls
call.
they've had to make.
After a review, the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass is confirmed.
Just that I think that was there.
It's
So,
hard, especially when you catch them with the legs. It's hard to suggest
what
otherwise
a
play there.
fantastic effort.
2x2 spread set from the Ravens here. Winding up, looking for Hayes again. This time she doesn't catch it with her feet. She catches it with her hands. Doggy with the interception and takes it to about the 37-yard line. There she goes. Tries to catch it the more traditional way this time.
Yeah, she's jumped the pass. I'd be interesting to have a look and see about whether wrist was actually grabbed onto and taken out of the play there or not, though. But I don't think she could have actually caught the ball from the position that she was in. So I caught the ball, secured it, made a couple of yards. Thank you very much.
And that's always going to be a possibility when these sort of late stages of the game where you're trying to force that ball downfield. The safeties get the cheat on those deep passes, and a good safety like Doggy will make you pay.
And you see the Stingrays are trying to get going real quick
41, they're still in good territory. They could add another score here if they can execute. Evans with a pass to Mel Kelly, and she catches that slant. She runs that slant really well. That's bread and butter for them, especially Mel Kelly.
Lauren threw the ball 12 yards there, made a couple of yards after the pass, first down. Beautiful, short, sharp passing.
Now,
And the thing is too, you can run that all day.
you can.
You
it's
just
a bread
run it
and butter
until
play.
they stop you.
Now, I'm just going to make a comparison there to Evans, and we're about to see this play go off. Evans and Pepe in the last play. I'll hold my comments till next play. It's winding up. Attended for number 13, and great coverage there by Katie Clifton. Defending. It looks like Riley Hodgson had the step on her there, but she doesn't give up on the play, and she gets her hands in between the receivers and breaks that play up. But what I was going to say there was that if you look at the throwing styles between Pepe, at least today, between Pepe and Evans there, Evans is really stepping into those throw and delivering it with velocity. Pepe, as she's trying to force field, is probably throwing off her back foot just that little bit and just causing her passes to sail a little bit.
Denise is trying to use power where Lauren is using timing. And it's the old golf swing analogy.
Yeah.
You get your timing right, the pass comes better.
The give inside number 3 on a little jet sweep play. And she's taken there by Jerez, but she picks up a good couple of yards there.
Did you call that the jet sweep play there?
It's effectively a jet sweep. And there's a
Timeout,
here taken by the
Stingrays. That's their second charge team timeout.
I didn't see how much time we've got left on the clock, but it can't be too much.
That was Hirsch on the carry there. And again, Gridiron Queensland is pleased to introduce Vulcan Fireworks as matchday sponsor for Summerbowl 4. Vulcan Fireworks provides a superb range of professionally fired fireworks to players for your special event. We will add that extra spectacle and magic to your event, lighting up the sky to ensure your event is well remembered. Your imagination is our creation. And not to forget some of our local exciting things happening. And also big thanks to Motor and Marine as well. And Stampede Sports, the new sponsor for our sponsor thing, and Impact Sports. And obviously you can follow us on Facebook, which is www.facebook.com/Gridiron Queensland. And also, for those looking to keep up to date with us, get Team App. As you can get all the schedule results and scores straight to one app. But to remind everyone, yes, Jumping Castle, Can Bar, merchandise can all be found on the car side of the field.
Looks like about 6 seconds pass. Why
It's a
wouldn't you?
ugly duck of a pass. Picked off a barrel. Can she run here? Can she get there? She's going to have to give it all she's got here.
She's
She's got some coverage there. And I'm not sure how much time was remaining there.
I think she went out of bounds with about 3 seconds remaining.
Just based on that, there was definitely seconds remaining there. It was a fantastic play that Baru gets her first in there, but she's made a pick now as a safety.
Close enough to halfway.
Nope. All right, so we're getting the call now that the play did run dead there, so time expired on that play of half, but
We're hearing
into half of the rest. So yeah, I think we've got 3.7 seconds remaining by what looked at the clock here, and definitely the players are lining up, so it's definitely at the end of half. We've got one play remaining here, bar a penalty.
Whatever your favourite play is as a coach, this is the one you want to run.
It's an ugly snap. I'm sure that's not his favourite play, and Denise Pepe is going to have to take this down, and that will signify the end of this half so far.
Biggest problem with playing shotgun or pistol is if you've got an offensive line that is being muscled by a defensive line, it makes it so much harder for the centre to snap the ball, because
Especially someone like Lon Tulloch, who really likes to play hard inside those trenches.
Yep.
But that is the end of the half here. The Gold Coast Stingrays currently lead in this matchup 6-0. The Ravens have had their opportunities, quite haven't been able to break the plane yet. We'll see what happens in the third quarter, but for now we're going to take a break and leave you to our halftime pictures. We'll be back in a moment. I'm Kenny Andres here for Gridiron Queensland, joined from Peter Farrar here in the Gridiron Queensland State Championship 2015.
Every time I close my eyes, I feel the same. Come, my darling, don't think twice. It's our game. Can you hear me? Take your feet, put them on the floor. Can you hear me? On the street, that's I'm looking for. Every time I close my eyes, I feel the same. Come, my darling, don't think twice. It's our game. Can you hear me? Take your feet, put them on the floor. Can you hear me? On the street, that's I'm looking for. Every time I close my eyes, I feel the same. Come, my darling, don't think twice. It's our game. Can you hear me? Take your feet, put them on the floor. Can you hear me? On the street, that's I'm looking for.
All right, welcome back here to the live stream of the Gridiron Queensland State Championships here in Coorparoo. Stop turning it off, I just turned it on. All right, all technical difficulties aside, welcome back to the State Championships here of Gridiron Queensland in 2015 here at East Leagues Club in Coorparoo. We're in the middle or halftime of the Summerbowl 4 championship between the Bayside Ravens and the Gold Coast Stingrays, where the Stingrays lead 6-0 after a touchdown pass late in the first quarter. I'm Kenny Andres, resident voice of Gridiron Queensland, joined by in colour by Pete Farrar. Mate, what do you make of that first half?
I thought it was a fantastic first half because I think although the offences both shone, the defence has shone as well. And I think it goes to show how close these two teams are. It goes to show how strong our competition is, if I can throw that in as well. But it also shows that this is going to be a game like we thought it was going to be. One of the worst things you can ever have is a blowout game.
Absolutely.
And the first half tells us that it's not going to be a blowout game. We all know that you could get a couple of touchdowns at the very end of the game to change the score, but this has been a great game, evenly matched for the first half, and enjoyable to watch. And we've had some controversy as well.
Absolutely. Hey, it's not a state championship with a little bit of controversy.
But we've had a couple of reviews which we are reasonably confident the officials have got spot on right. And they've got all the modern stuff as well. So I think this is a great ad for Gridiron.
Absolutely. Getting some messages that we've been talking over the referees a little bit during the official part of time, so we'll work on that in the second half and for the rest of the day. However, I managed to get a chat going with head coach Andy Miller about his thoughts about the half and what he's trying to do. He said, look, that first half in his eyes was filled with a lot of mistakes, and despite that, they're only 6 down. So he gave a shout out to the heart and courage of his side to be only down 6-0. And he said if we can get rid of that and get the running game established again, he has every belief that they'll be able to push the score into the first half and take him out towards the back end. So.
Well, I think we both agreed earlier in the game too that the Ravens didn't look as though they were having that lucky drop. You know, the things just weren't quite developing. Now, you can argue that the Stingrays were all over it, but you still do need that element of luck. You need that block to be picked up. And if it's missed, okay, it can cause grief. But towards the end of the first half, you saw that the Ravens' luck was starting to come back, or starting to come into it a little bit.
Now, we're talking about some of the star players from the first half. We talked that the defense were stepping up. I want to put a highlight on number 45, CJ Sims, last year's MVP. She's been doing a great job setting the edge. She's been really setting the tempo for this defense and is doing a great job of shutting out this Ravens offense so far.
I think so. And I don't want to take anything away from CJ, so please don't get me wrong. But the thing is that the Stingrays' defense is working as a unit. Now, you can argue that makes CJ more effective, and I don't want to get into that argument, but yeah, the Stingrays' defence for me is actually playing pretty much where you would want them to be playing and how they're playing.
I don't think anyone would take that the wrong way, mate. That's exactly what your defence to be doing, working as a team. Hayes to set us off here for the second half of Summerbowl 4. Bonnet back deep to return. She lets it bounce a couple of times, picks it up about her own 20. She's got some space there. Triasmono there, and Lucy Jerez takes her down, but she takes a big Stingray jump and gets into gets into Raven territory. I think this ball will be spotted on the 46-yard line, so just beyond halfway here. 40. I'm waiting for the official spot. No, right on halfway.
It's been spotted. It's an interesting spot.
Right. So I think they're deeming that while the dive looked spectacular, her knee hit the ground on that 50-yard line. So it looks like, you can see the point of the ball on camera there, just touching that halfway marker.
This is where we need to see the Ravens, their defence, to step up and stop the Stingrays here or make them earn every single inch.
And it's going to be a give up the middle there. It's to Rebecca Hirsch, and she fights her way to a couple of yards, bringing up second down. Talking about, again, we touched on it in the first half, the assortment of running backs that they have there. I mean, today you'd argue that the Barnett is taking the bulk of the carries, and she's, you could argue she's the focal point, but that is very well complemented by all the wing backs and the receivers getting amongst the running game too.
Yeah, they share the ball around nicely, which is something that every coach dreams of, having the ability to have different points of attack from different people. Also makes the defence, keeps the defence very, very honest.
Yes, sir. 2nd and 8 upcoming. It's going to be give up the middle to Hirsch once more. She finds some space and is taken down there by Trish Cameron in a textbook tackle.
2 plays end on end, both just simple run plays. Nothing tricky, nothing overly complicated. They've made a good 6 yards.
And this is almost a mirror of their first offensive possession of the first half, where they stuck to basics and they drove all the way down and finished off with a touchdown pass to Riley Hodgson.
I certainly
it
can't
looks
tell
like-
you what's going through Rob's head. I have no idea. But what I would assume is that he's just trying to make some yardage at the moment, keep the flags ticking over, and score.
So, a slightly different formation. A tight end to the left here, and it's once again one of the linemen moving out there. And it's Hirsch taking another carry once more, and she's going to get taken down. The combination of Lucy Jerez and Jess Saleh, the nose tackle here for the Bayside Ravens.
I think she just made it back to the original line of scrimmage there. I think the Stingrays may have been a bit unlucky not to get a flag for a block in the back there, but I think
Fantastic work from Sally there. She is not on the play side of the line there, but you can see her make the initial combat and then go looking for work, and she's right there when the play needs to be made. I was looking at some of the comments at halftime, and we're joined by some other professional athletes. The Sims brothers, Tarek Sims, having possible relations to CJ Sims.
the Sims are a very, very sporting family.
And I think there was a false start. I think that's only the second one of today.
Yeah, the Sims
False
are a
start.
very sporting family. I believe
Offense,
they've got
number
some
70.
family members
5
playing
yard
in the
penalty,
NRL. I
still
think,
fourth down.
Corbin.
There's a cousin or a sister of CJ that is Australian rep, I think, for touch football.
Oh, there you go.
Very, very sporting family.
And on the backside,
And the only one that shines is CJ by playing gridiron.
and on the other side, on the Ravens, you see Trisha Cameron, her brother, Bodine Thompson, playing for the Warriors, just recently took on Paul Gallen in a charity boxing match, and also her cousin Stan Walker, a famous singer that we all know. So plenty of talent amongst the families of these competitors today. Evans, back deep, is looking to wind up, looks a wide open player there, taken there by Gracie Powell, but how is she wide open there? That was Riley Hodgson. She's picked up a couple of catches today, including a touchdown catch.
It'd be interesting to see what she ran on that on the replay, because I missed her. I think she just ran
also-
something like a quick slant again.
We haven't got, maybe we can get a wide shot happening there, because she just
Looks very
gets
slanty
open.
the way she's come back into the middle of the field, and unfortunately she's still down. I don't
Yeah.
know what she's done. I don't mean to be saying it too much, but injuries this year have just been horrific.
It looks like it was just an awkward tackle down,
Let's hope it's nothing.
and it's an injury timeout. We've got another replay here. Maybe this will shed some light. And the Ravens are playing 3 down linemen, and that's effectively blitzing a player there.
Yeah.
And that takes a player out of coverage. And I think we're going to get the replay we're looking for here. And, okay, so you see there in the corner there, I don't know, Lauren Evans might have just given her a look to that flat, but it was man coverage for the Ravens. That's wide open there. So a nicely drawn up play by the Stingrays that works to perfection. And hopefully...
The most important
Make it-
thing is
oh, sorry.
the Stingrays are moving the ball. They're now down onto they're down onto the 30 of the Ravens. The Ravens are trying to hold them, and they're doing not a bad job. Their defense has stepped up dramatically against the run. But unfortunately, the odd pass they're getting beaten on.
And we're going to see a delay of game here.
I think they might be a timeout.
Oh, timeout.
I think they
Timeout.
might have. It was touching
Timeout,
whether they got that on the
Stingrays.
play
First
clock or not.
charge, team timeout.
So it's, Stingrays using the timeout to avoid it. And
Speaking of injuries, Kenny, I spoke to our star running back, Christy Moran, last night. She's finally had a surgery done. I know that you were in the game where we played in the playoff game against the Ravens.
Yes,
You were
sir.
wondering if we were holding her off the field for the Summer Bowl. No, Christy.
Did seem odd.
Christy had a horrific fractured wrist. She clean break on the radius and the ulnar, and broke a few bones in her wrist as well. So she had surgery yesterday. She's had it pinned and plated, and says that she'll be back in time for state team.
A true competitive athlete.
Yes.
Wouldn't say anything other than that. But yeah, our thoughts are out to you, Special K. You're a big part of this, this Ravens women's community and this Gridiron community as a total. So, wishing you a speedy recovery, and if you can make it for state, that'd be absolutely wonderful.
I think the beauty of her is that no one doesn't like her.
Yeah, that's it.
Everyone likes her.
She's a lovely, lovely person. Evans, toss play out to the left, led by Bonnet. It's going to be a give. And well chased down there by
Beautifully read
Trias
there.
Mono. The carry there to Storm Gower, who's had her fair share of carries today. But well defended there by the usual offensive player, Castro.
See, one thing that with this defence is actually going hunting for the ball. Now, this can be a massive positive for the team, but the big thing you've got to remember is sometimes this can really backfire. You go too hungry, too aggressive, you can end up being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Well, we saw the last play there. I mean, it means there's a lot more one-on-one coverage, sometimes one-on-none coverage. And you do expect a lot more play out of your defensive backs if you choose to be a lot more aggressive. Pass play here. She's looking for the slant. Camera's underneath him, but it sails out of see a flag hit the turf.
Could have been thrown away, or could have just been quarterback and receiver not on the same page. Usually when you get something like that where the ball is nowhere near where an intended receiver is, it can be just that throwaway.
Disregard the flag.
flag's
There is
been
no
waved off.
foul for an ineligible downfield.
So there was some worries there they could have been an ineligible receiver, but they're waving that off, saying that it was all legal. So no dramas there. But what is a drama is this long third down conversion necessary by the Stingrays after a big tackle from Trias Mono. Wheel route, and it's not going to pay off. That's going to set them up for a fourth down. However, as we said, most fourth downs in this league that are inside their own half lead to second attempts or fourth down territory. So it looks like they're winding up again for another attempt. Evans talking offense with her team, so they'll be taking another shot here on fourth down.
Oh, and so they should too. Well, I mean, you go for a punt. Why? You've automatically handed the ball over. So you may as well have that attempt on the fourth down, see if you can get first down, and keep the ball. It's worth a shot. You're not going to be really not going to be any better or worse off. You punt from here, ball goes in the end zone, comes back.
And we're looking for that trips formation, and is overthrown there. She's not finding the same rhythm she had in that first half with her short routes. You were quick to praise her about her short passing ability. I think it might have been left in the locker room in this first couple minutes of the second half here. She has failed to connect.
Once again, I want to be very careful not to bag anyone. But just technically on that looked like a shot put throw. It looked like her mechanics. Maybe she's just cold. Maybe she just hasn't quite come back yet.
Christy Moran letting you know she's fine. She's thanking her head coach here for checking in with her. 4:01 remaining in this quarter. Gracie Powers lined up very wide here on this side here as there's a pitch out to Harris. Flags have been thrown. Harris has found some yards and picked up 7 yards prior to the flag, but it looks like it's against the Ravens.
Might be a fault. But we shouldn't preempt the officials.
We've been wrong before.
Is it us that's wrong, or is it the officials that have been wrong in what we're saying?
False start. Offense, number 33. Please reset the clock to 4:01.
So there it is, a false start on the running back there. And that takes away that big play that they had. Well, not a big play, but a decent play there from Harris. And that puts them in a 1st and 15 here. Pepe, and another play being blown dead.
This is where the Ravens need to have their nice little huddle, have their chat, clear their mind, reload.
Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
This one on tight end,
11.
Cinder Lee Greenwood.
It's just nerves. It's a big game. It's the big show for the season.
But that puts him in a massive hole here. 1st and 20 now. Not easy for the best of offenses. Harris in the backfield with Pepe. The give is a pass To Power. Power is open over the middle. She's going to drag a defender there. Doesn't get the first down, but gets second and third upcoming. Now it's a slant play, which has been a big theme of today's passing game. Pepe lets it fly, hits Power on the inside, and
you'll notice it's not an overly deep pass. The slant takes care of that. She makes good yardage afterwards. And you'll notice too that she stayed on her angle going across the field. She didn't try and straighten up, which will lead her back into safeties and so forth. So she made people chase them. Excellent.
regular season. And they're going to go that speed option again. Pepe's found some yards here and trucks her way to a first down. The Ravens, they found some momentum, get the keys, they're on a drive.
Keys, they're on a drive. Okay, yeah,
Like
no,
that one,
they're
mate?
two really nice plays back to back.
That's when that speed option can work really well. You're in that sort of second and medium time because you can pass or run. And that's when it can wreak havoc with the defensive schemes. Once again, this trip set out to the left of the open side of the field. Pepe, Harris, it's the inside give, but the Stingrays not going to get beaten by that one two times in a game, and they shut it down, 41.
Aurora Tulloch absolutely read that.
Big play there from Tulloch, the linebacker. Look at her, shed the block, know it's coming, react to it, and she certainly knows it's a big play. You can see there, she's going to just break off the edge here.
It's one of our mother-daughter combinations playing.
Yeah,
It's,
you don't often see that, do you?
Lon's daughter. I'm not sure of her age. I think this is her first season.
You've got a couple of relations on the Ravens. You've got the sisters of Lee Greenwood and Wairama. As we're looking for another pass attempted here for Pepe, she's going to have to wheel out now. Shovel passes to Hayes. Reached her hands but falls incomplete, followed by a Stingray sandwich. Impressive improvisational thinking there. And, oh, gosh. It looks like there was CJ Sims and...
CJ and Anna Lone in there on that. Some would
that
argue that
38?
Anna's had a quiet day today playing middle linebacker, but let me assure you she has not. This woman is a rookie this year. She picked up the bronze medallion for Rookie of the Year for the female competition, and her read and her ability to react is outstanding.
Well, she certainly felt the brunt of her own defender there. Lee Greenwood, she was open, but the pass doesn't connect, and it falls incomplete.
Slightly rushed there on the pass, I think. I don't think she quite realised it. She had a couple more seconds still. But, as I said before, it's a lot easier to sit up here in an air-conditioned booth.
Absolutely. That brings me to another topic, though. This Stingrays defense, known for its high-pressure ability. I've got to shout out to the Ravens' offensive line and backs. They're doing a great job in pass protection today. Hasn't been a whole lot of pressure initially on Denise Pepe, who has been reasonably, as far as the passing game goes, sack-free.
Well, I think one thing you'll notice too with the Ravens line is they're moving with the Stingrays line. So they're dropping back into what you would almost call the typical pocket. So they're giving that bit of time. They can't stop the Stingrays, but they just make him move hard.
And this is awkward. I think Tulloch again in there on the play and shuts it down. Oh, I think she just needed to put her foot down and just accept the yards she had.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not us making the decision, it's all her, and she's reacted to what she's seen. But normally you'd be saying, just pin your ears back, keep going, keep going.
Tulloch drive so far.
Unfortunately, it was a very big hit, and she ran into the hit too, so she wouldn't have been able to be in the position to defend herself too well. I hope she's okay.
That's Denise Pepe down for people watching. I know she'll have some family watching in the back there, so we'll keep you updated as best we can.
Nope, she's up on her feet. Helmet's off though, but that could just be as a precaution. She should be off now for a play or two as it is.
back here, 1:54 remaining in this third quarter. The score remains the same as the halftime score, 6-0. Evans, give, Barnett is
Beautiful
going to have to
handoff.
fall back, and that's going to be a timeout taken by the Ravens before that play gets off.
Actually, the way the officials were signalling there, Kenny, that could be. Oh no, they've just got they're challenged for directionally challenged.
Timeout Ravens. That's their first charge team timeout.
So the Ravens are going to have a chat about this. Andy Miller is bringing his team to the sideline. They're going to talk about this. Experience here that Miller's going to be talking to his team about. They're down 6-0. They haven't been able to drive into the red zone in quite some time. I think they might have just got one appearance for today. What is he drilling into his team here now as the defense trying to get this ball back? Offense.
I can tell you what I'd be saying to my guys is get the ball, control the ball. We've still got plenty of time. There's another quarter to go. We haven't quite come to the end of the third quarter yet. It's only 6-0. It's have faith in yourselves, have faith in each other, move the ball, and we can win this. I mean, they've shown that they can score on the Stingrays in previous games.
Snap to Evans, give, Barnett. She's going to take it up the left-hand side. Look at her move. Gets the first down. That's another first down carried for Barnett today. She's been running the ball well.
Fantastic run. She might be just a touch.
No,
No,
she's got the first
signal
down.
red, yep. Sorry, Kenny, I don't know why I would ever question you over first down spotting.
She's been running the ball well, and there's a reason why she had her fair share of.
When she actually is running on the replays, you just watch the transference of rate of.
Hard count used by the Stingrays. Give to Barnett once again. He's cutting out to the outside. First down. Can she turn this into more? She gets out of bounds.
I think she's got a great run.
She has got to be close to yards, I'd say, it seems to me. But, I mean, I could be confusing it with many ball carriers that the Stingrays are utilising today.
Oh, that's the problem with the Stingrays. They're running 15 ball carriers, and it's very hard to keep track of who's doing all the yardage. But she has been a...
She's just so quick. She hits full speed very quickly.
And for all those offensive linemen out there, taking the yards because their O-line's doing the job.
Absolutely. You can see the O-line there lined up. Evans is going to let it fly to the left-hand side. She's got the catch. She does. And she's made a catch. That is number 13 on the carry. Bobbled a couple times. Riley Hodgson on her second touchdown of the day. Over the top of Clifton, who had some fantastic coverage, but she gets her hands in there, but Hodgson just concentrates all the way down to the ground, and she keeps in bounds, and that's the concentration. Fantastic.
You cannot for one moment say that the coverage was not good. You cannot for one moment say that the effort, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth effort to catch the ball wasn't there. That was absolutely fantastic.
And that's the effort you need in these big games there. That's going to be the difference there. She doesn't catch out, it's still a 6-point game.
Yep.
And that makes the thing. A 2-score game plays a lot differently mentally in the heads of both teams here. So 2-point conversion being attempted here by the Stingrays. Give to Barnett, who's going to waltz it into the 2-point conversion. So the Stingrays are going to take a 14-point lead here over the Ravens. The score exists 14-0 here in the back end of this third quarter.
I can assure you that there's no way in the world that the Stingrays will be comfortable with the 14-0 scoreline as of yet. They will not stop playing. They will not give up or start to coast or rest on laurels. I think the big thing is how the Ravens react now. This game is not over. We've got a little bit of time left in this quarter. Then we're going to, and I wish to go back to the Ravens should have had that game locked up. The Stingrays came back. I'm not saying anything about today, but what I'm saying is people have got to remember you can always come back.
It can happen. Just giving a heads up, can the field crew for game 2 head to the Volunteers tent? That's the field crew for game 2. Can you head to the Volunteers tent? Thank you. Set to kick off is Mika Dagi, the safety, and in this place kicker. Drills it to Cameron, who catches on the fall. She's going to pitch it. No, she won't. She'll cut back now. She'll reverse her run, cuts upfield, breaks one tackle, and then gets taken down around the 38-yard line.
Number 8 there from the Stingrays, totally outsized. Probably didn't have the speed there either, but tenacity to make contact and was lucky enough to bring the ball carrier back. Well done.
So it still puts the Ravens in some decent field position. Shy halfway, about 11 yards shy halfway. Sorry, 6 yards I should say. Forgetting that we have a shorter field here to account for the rugby league fields here in Queensland.
I think it's actually Australia-wide now, Ken.
Australia,
I
there
think
you
it
go.
was an insurance requirement that you can't have your goalposts within your end zones. So I know Queensland were the first state to adapt it, that we run a 90-yard field. I'm pretty sure the other states have followed as well, but I'm sure.
Pepe launching it long, attempted for Hayes. No, but Lee Grant, no, Christian Trias-Moto catches it. There's a big play for the Ravens to answer back. So if you thought that was a gut punch to take the Ravens out, that should answer that question. They're ready to play, and they don't think 14 is enough to overcome. They don't think it's not enough to overcome, I should say. But, yeah, going back to what you were saying about the 90-yard field, look, as long as it's uniform, I don't mind giving up those extra yards. So if it means having those goalposts at the back, I think it's a fantastic thing for this game. But, geez, what a pass there.
That was fantastic. The pass was good. The coverage was there again. Again, we saw 2 Stingrays covering, but Kestra was able to pluck that out. I don't know how, other than pure skill and talent. And here they are, 26 yards out.
The best field position they've had all day. Pepe, 3 receivers out to her left. She's going to run quarterback draw, and she's just going to collect a few yards and take it down. That's going to set up a 2nd and maybe 7 as this quarter draws to a close.
What a great tight game.
If the Ravens can score early in this 4th quarter, we are set for a grandstand finish. It's hard to rival the one that of last year's Summer Bowl between this Gold Coast unit and your Jets, but geez,
I don't like talking about that game, though. I think that's why I ended up having a heart attack later on.
Mate, speaking about heart attacks, Gridiron Queensland is pleased to introduce Vulcan Fireworks as match sponsor for Summer Bowl 4. Vulcan Fireworks provides a superb range of professionally fired fireworks displays for your special event. We will add that extra spectacle and magic to your event, lighting up the sky to ensure your event is remembered. Your imagination is our creation. Vulcan Fireworks. Thanks to Motor Marine, Stampede Sports as well, our new sponsor, and Play Hard, Play Fair, Impact Sports. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Gridiron Queensland. And if you haven't got us on Team App now, it's the easiest way to keep up with all the action in Gridiron Queensland. So big thanks for all of our sponsors as we look into 4th quarter football now. Here it is, the championship round of what's been a fantastic women's season so far.
Championship quarter of the championship game.
Precisely. Here it is.
And this is where you pull all the cliches out. You leave it all on the line. You leave it all on the field. You don't give up. This is it.
Defense shouting out calls Pepe. Looking to launch it to her left. She aims for power and it's just too far over her head. Falls incomplete. This will be a 3rd and 8 upcoming to convert this. 3rd and 9, I should say, sorry. But look, the Ravens persist and want to throw this all long, and you can't challenge it. It's been working on a couple of players, so...
Oh, absolutely. As I've said, percentages are low, but wow, when they've stuck, it's been phenomenal yardage that they've made on it.
Okay, so Trias-Moto coming off for a much-needed spell now. And this Ravens line, the centre, April McEnroth. Ready to snap the ball. It's a give out to Cameron. Cameron, and she's going to get met hard and a big tackle there. I think that was Iwani again, number 38, on the tackle there. Let's see that on replay.
I think she might have, unfortunately, picked up a slight injury in that. They're showing a little bit of concern for her. She stayed down on the ground. They're putting hands up, calling for first aid.
Looks like we might take an injury time out here to sort this issue out, but hopefully she's okay. She's been playing well in this second half in particular.
I'm no doctor, but it looks like a cramp the way they're grabbing a foot and pushing the toes back.
She will not be the first person to deal with it today, I believe, in this muggy, hot weather. Those who just haven't been sculling as much water from the last couple of days certainly could be going down with it.
It's good to see a very healthy sized crowd here today too, Kenny.
Absolutely.
Looking around, and you can see a few people are clumped into teams. We've got the Jets just outside the commentary box. They're actually recovering. They won some awards last night. They went to, believe it or not, the lip syncing competition at the Richlands Lions Richland Soccer Club and walked away with the hardware.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, it's quite scary when you think about it. So to Ali and Shani, who've got to go back for the big state championship in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, look on the bright side, Awani looks like she's managed to get off the field and jog it off as well. So she's glad to see she's not seriously injured. So
it looks like number 11's moved back there to middle linebacker. Tracy Day.
big gadget play there, and Greenwood comes up with a catch there. And we got 2 plays down, a flag down. I reckon there's going to be a roughing the passer there, just judging. Cameron's down. She was hit hard there from CJ Sims. We'll see how far after the play it was. You can see this little pitch play. And she is knocked down there. I think that's definitely... You can take a look, Farah, take a look at this play here and deem whether you would think. I don't know if we're going to catch it on this particular replay. I don't think we can, but it's a fantastic catch there from Greenwood, who lowers her shoulder and trucks forward for a couple of yards. But it sounds like there's going to be another 15 yards tacked onto this.
Oh, unfortunately, yeah. Way after the ball's been passed.
Looks like the flag is down on the...
It looked as though actually there was
There's 2 flags on the play.
2 flags that came in. One came in on the contact, and it looked to me as if another flag was thrown at CJ as she was walking away. So I don't know if she made a comment, but I'd hate to... I just like putting it out there to see if anyone salutes it, rather than...
This
could be very, very interesting.
So Cameron looks like she's coming off the field now, because I think she'll have to.
She actually has to come off the field.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defence, number 45, half distance to the goal line. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Defence, number 45, half distance to the goal line. First down.
So there it is. Big plays against this Ravens. Well, these big penalties against the Stingrays, I should say, is going to cost them.
So that drops them. That gives them 15 yards for the initial roughing the passer, and then half distance to the goal line. So I think they might be about 6 yards.
4 yards. 4 yards. There we go. Third time lucky. Nope, 3. We're right the first time.
You don't ever want to buy real estate off me if I'm selling it.
This is not the time you want to be losing your heads though. There, if you're the Stingrays, I know you're 14 up, but you've just welcomed the Ravens to try to.
And the most important thing out of all this, first down.
Absolutely, first down. They're going to have 4 attempts here at the goal line. It's 7:24. If they can score early, and use very minimal time here, this could definitely swing momentum into the Ravens' favor here. But a goal line stand for the Stingrays could achieve the exact same effect as well. And it's going to be an option play. Pepe, can she drive in? She can't. A big tackle there to stop her short of the line.
Made a very solid 2 yards there, I'd say. Depending where they spot the
Day
ball.
making a key tackle to keep her out of the end zone.
Tracy was a player in the first season of the FGLQ. Played until she injured her knee pretty badly. Ended up having some pretty serious reconstruction surgery. She's come back this year playing centre. It's also interesting to see her playing linebacker now. So it's really good to see Tracy back.
6:35 remaining in this game. Pepe and Castro Trias. Can she bake into the end zone? She'll be short. Flags are down.
Flags down. A flag came in. You'd have to lean towards a defensive flag.
Either that or they could have been an illegal formation. We'll soon see.
Offside, half distance to the goal line. Repeat, second down.
So you were exactly on the money this time. Your real estate business is back open, Pete.
Friendly Pete's Real Estate. Only come and have a look at it on low tide.
So the Ravens couldn't get any closer. They could sneeze the ball over here. It's going to need to be a big push here. Will they just try to run this in with the athletic Pepe? No, they're going to try and pass it in. Incomplete. The big coverage there by the safety, Mika Duggie.
Mika Duggie again. She has been popping up everywhere.
Absolutely, where it's making plays with almost catches with her legs or making actual catches with her hands, or this time breaking up goal line passes intended to Lee Greenwood there. And she just needed to get a bit more zip on that, Pepe. You know, you've really got to drill that in there.
Too hard.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they are, but they need to score.
And this is a power backfield between Pepe and Cameron. They're going to go that option. Can Pepe rock in? She can! The Ravens get on the board in the fourth quarter. 6 points to the Ravens. That puts them 8 points behind. 2-point conversion to come. Pepe in for the touchdown. There it is. They simplified the playbook. Just go back to what they were good at and getting Pepe running the ball. And she does well to truck over that glass plane. They call the end zone. Pete Farrar.
Size, strength, knowledge, and ability. That's what that was.
So,
Andy will take full credit for sending that in. So he should too, as all coaches should.
So the important thing is they didn't let a red zone appearance go on, go empty-handed. They've put the points on the board now. They've struck it down to worst case scenario, 1 possession. But if they can get a 2-point conversion here, that'd be pretty solid too. Yeah, there's going to be another run play to Pepe. She's going to go in untouched. 8 points. That possession turns out to be for the Ravens. 14-8 the score is. A 6-point lead here for the Stingrays. Ravens grabbing some momentum. Can they pass that on to their special teams and defensive side? One last drive in the back end of this quarter.
I think they may, is that they just ran the same play twice. That's confidence, all right? So they've got some confidence. We need them to expand a bit more. They're in this game. This game is not over. It is 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go. The score is 14-8. I wouldn't put $1 on who's going to win.
Absolutely. I would. I'm a betting man, but my wallet is firmly in my pocket at the moment. But can we get a quick announcement there to Lana Franks, Daniel Wood, and Fanal Vils? Could you please get yourselves to the volunteer tent as soon as possible? That is Lana Franks, Daniel Wood, Fanal Vils to the volunteer tent, please.
Marissa Hayes coming back for the kickoff.
She really specialises in this kickoff. She spends a lot of time. She works on it. There was a period where she was injured and she couldn't quite do running drills, but she spent her time kicking. And you can see in this particular situation, if it goes for a touchback, which it does, it pays off for them.
I'd have to stick my neck out here and leave myself to be shot down again, but I reckon she is the best kicker we've got in the competition. I've heard from many sources that she spends hours practicing her kicking. And I think it shows. And you look at that, now she's kicking off from the 30-yard line, 25-yard line there. She's touchback.
And you can't underestimate how big of a deal it is. I think a lot of people overlook that in the NFL where it happens. But in this league where kick returns average about getting to the 30, if not the 45-yard line, having a team start in their own 20 is absolutely huge for defense. That's an extra 20 yards your defense doesn't have to defend.
And we've got scenarios in the past couple of seasons where people have run back 5 kicks in a game.
There it is. So the Stingrays looking to try and drive this clock or get the game-winning dagger of a touchdown as they give it to Barnett, who's been running like a dagger today. She trucks it down and picks up about 7, maybe 8. I can't quite make out the angle here, but a solid chunky yardage here on first down.
She's got to be so close to first down. It's not funny.
First down, yep. I'm seeing the signal. She picks up another first down, and it seems like every other carry by Barnett is winding those chains and getting them moving.
And why would yardage she's made today? And I mean this with affection. She runs like a horse. She just doesn't stop. You know, she's just got that power.
Big offensive line, and she does it very well. Look at her lower the body now, but I've been faked out, and it was a keep to Evans, and she gets
brilliant read by the Ravens.
Yeah, bear hugged by Lucy Jerez.
I think you were the only one who was faked on that
Yeah,
one. The Ravens defense.
I'm too captivated by the running ability from from Barnett here, and I'm getting faked out myself. But hey, it's credit to Evans as well. She's tucking that ball in and hiding it well, but obviously not well enough to beat this Ravens defense, who wised up to it, and Jerez and Wairama on the stop there.
And in your defence too, Ken, there were a couple of Ravens that went to pick her up just to be on the safe side. So
I've also got this big monitor in front of me as well, which probably blocked out Evans.
No, excuses.
Evans, this time of the carry. I'm watching Barnett, who uses her speed to get to the outside. However, gets out of bounds though, which will stop the clock. Whilst the yardage is good, probably didn't want to stop the clock, but for first down, it's probably not the worst thing in the world.
Dead on halfway. There is a flag though. You would assume it's a defensive penalty.
Offsides, defence, number 10. That penalty declined, first down.
For those people watching on the live stream at home, normally when a flag's thrown and there is not a whistle, it's on the defence.
generally.
If there is a whistle, usually on the offense. So by not blowing the whistle, it was a free play. So if it's a defensive penalty. So if the play doesn't work, you've got 5 yards.
Which can be super dangerous if it's a pass play called, where the quarterback can just throw it deep without a care in the world.
Yep.
And this is another give to Barnett. I've watched the ball. She's definitely got it.
Nice
And
inside
she's gonna
handoff.
tuck in and get tackled there. And
I'd have to argue 7 yards on that.
yep, it's going to be close. She run the balls well, but all she needs to do is get that ball. Small nitpick on what's been a fantastic performance by her today.
Well, I think as a rookie, I think we've seen a lot of positives in what we've seen with her. As she develops as a player, you'll see she'll pick up the nuances of running back.
Just looking at her stats, she's only got the 3 touchdowns on the season, which surprises me a fair bit, given her ability to pound that rock. And this is going to be a nice little jet sweep. And tackled there well by the Ravens. Tiafi Thirsty in on the play, as well as Trisha Cameron making the initial contact, and Jess Saleh getting in there as well.
No, there were 3 Ravens in on the play there. They didn't fall for the end around. They saw the motion.
Candace Swaysland also on in on that play. So 3rd and short here. So this is a big down here. 3rd down would carry a little more weight, but the Ravens have to have 2 big stops here if they want to try and get this ball back with over 3 minutes remaining.
And that's the big thing at the moment. It's the time.
Evans is going to take it herself, and she's going to go out of bounds. But did she get the first down? It's looking so.
I think she's made first down plus 1. Maybe
No,
2.
First down. So first down. She has stopped the clock though, but that first down makes it very difficult. At this point, the Ravens now not necessarily just relying on the stoppages. They're going to have to try and start stripping this ball out and looking to get aggressive and look to get some takeaways.
The longer the Stingrays hold the ball, the more chance they have of winning.
Now, I thought she went out of bounds, but the clock's still ticking, so obviously forward momentum was stopped in the field of play.
No, I think the ball's whistled back in
Oh, there it is.
on the spot.
And Evans is going to wheel around the outside, and she's now showing her trucking ability, getting close to a first down.
Good play by the Stingrays there. They showed the ball inside to Zoe Barnett again. 2 Ravens had to respect that inside run.
Yeah, you see Trisha Cameron.
Yep, had to respect
You
it.
just have to when they've got the running game going like that.
And then you see Lauren pop out the other side with the ball. Now, Lauren was sort of she's 2 yards short. What a great 8 yards run.
Well, of note that I wasn't faked out on that play. I did immediately recognise Evans had the ball. However, that just brings us to the point. That's just a fantastic play of Barnett there. When you have that effective running play, you've got to respect the first read, which means they give there. But the backside pursuit not quite there to stop Evans.
2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in the game. My timeout.
There's the official 2-minute warning there. So there's 2 minutes left in this season here for the women's division of Gridiron Queensland. The Stingrays are in a position to run this out. It's going to need quite the heroic play here for the Ravens. Who will be the hero for this purple unit? Or can the Stingrays through Evans get into the end zone and shut this game down? Not quite, but they get it inside the 10. Evans showing off her wheels here in this 4th quarter.
One of my favourite players in the competition, Lauren Evans. And she's had a tremendous game today. We were talking earlier about some of the longer passes, like sort of dropping a shoulder a bit. But I'll tell you what, you look at her overall, in my opinion, she's had an absolute fantastic game today.
And she's finishing it off well and true here. Just FYI, 10 minutes after the game.
Be interesting to see what play's going to be dialed up here, whether it'll be a pass or a run.
The convention says they'll keep it on the ground here, but they might want to catch the Ravens off guard. Down. Now, that looked awkward.
Was that
Everyone stopped blocking. Was the play whistle dead?
Timeout. Second charge team timeout to the Stingrays.
Stingrays have called a timeout. Interesting.
Interesting. Not something you'd usually want to do when you've got the ball. And Vulcan Fireworks.
Correction,
Thank you to
first
you
charge
coming
team
up, as well as
timeout.
the rest of our guys, Motor and Marine, who we'll hear more from soon. Stampede Sports, responsible for the beautiful logos on our field. And Impact Sports, play hard, play fair. And obviously don't forget to like us on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Gridiron Queensland. For those who might be sticking around as well, don't forget the facilities we've got organised here. You can find the bathroom just behind the commentary box here. There's obviously the canteen there, and don't forget our beautiful jumping castle, which is looking uberly fun up in the corner there, as well as our can bar for the adults, and merchandise and face painting that can be found in similar areas. So get amongst all the festivities we're providing here at Cooperoo for our Summerbowl today. Pete Fry, you going to get your face painted later?
No. Thank you for the offer, but I will decline. I could maybe get my hair dyed.
I think you'd make a great Shrek, mate.
Well, I've got the body for Shrek. So about a minute 23 left on the clock. Stingrays in possession, first down, 10 yards out.
Mel Kelly's
Nice.
going to get the ball on the jet sweep. She's going to truck forward, but she gets tackled there by one of the Ravens defenders. I think that's Candice Swaysland-Bennett. No, sorry, that's Denise. No, it's Candice Swaysland-Bennett.
5 yards. Good, strong run. The old adage, you only need to make 3.5 yards per carry. That gives you your yard.
We are inside the final minute now. I don't know how many timeouts the Ravens have left. I know they used. Oh yeah, no, I'm seeing it on the screen now. The Ravens have 2 timeouts.
Zoe Barnett with a
remaining.
very strong
Barnett,
run,
can
and
she
she
chuck
is
it
in.
She's done it. This very well could be the play that seals the game here for the Stingrays. Flags are down. Post play though, the touchdown will stand.
Well, there is 33 seconds remaining, but I'd stick my neck out here and say that if this touchdown stands, I think the Stingrays might be crowned Summerbowl 4 champions.
The Ravens still have the opportunity. They'll have a drive, and if they can score very quickly, and I mean very quickly, they'll have a chance to go for an onside kick.
Who scored on that one?
Delay of game. Offense, number 9.
In there, it was a penalty on Barnett there for spiking the ball and not collecting it afterwards, or not one of her teammates collecting it and delaying the game there. So that'll just mean that they'll just move their team 5 yards back here and make this 2-point conversion.
Penalty be enforced on the kickoff.
Oh, sorry, enforced on the kickoff, not on the 2-point conversion. So they'll still take this 2-point conversion here, and it's almost academic here at the moment whether they get this one here.
I believe correct me if I'm wrong, please, is this second Summerbowl for Stingrays?
It would be, yes. And her knee is down, so that's going to be a failed 2-point conversion. But the Stingrays still hold on to a 2-possession lead with 33.5 seconds remaining. General logic says that will be enough to close us out, but we have seen some crazy things in this sport. I mean, now's the time, we were talking about in the first half, if you ever wanted a kick return for a touchdown,
Oh, yeah.
it would be now, because then you actually genuinely talk about the potential onside kick and then a Hail Mary from there. But if not a kick return here, if not a kick return touchdown, it needs to be a pretty big return here to try and spark some miracle talk happening.
And although I've stuck my neck out and said I think the Stingrays may have won this game now, the beauty of this game is that there's 33.5 seconds left on the clock. Anything can happen. And it basically comes down to how the Ravens react on this drive.
And the kick is up into the hands of Cameron to go. She's going to picture back to the speedy Chastity Mono. Can she pick up a block? She cuts it upfield now. She's going to get taken down there, but CJ Sims gets it into Stingray territory now. So that's 27 seconds remaining here. It needs to be an extremely quick touchdown. They're going to have to wind up and hope for the best. The Stingrays opting to keep this kickoff high, which sacrifice yards, yes, but it has made this return game very difficult. It's hard to structure a return from some of those.
As you know, Kenny, the higher the kick, the more chance you've got of getting your players on the kickoff team downfield to stop the return gathering too much momentum. Now for the Stingrays, all they want now is the ball. For the Ravens, they're going to have
Hauling
at
it
least 4
deep to
pot
Kester
shots.
Triasmono and gets her in the hands, but she can't hook up with it. And that's going to be an incomplete pass there. 22 seconds remaining in this Summerbowl 4 game.
And as we were just saying, imagine what would have happened if that had been complete. We would have been down on the
Pretty uncontrollable, I can imagine.
Pretty noisy, the crowd, actually. You can't hear them in here as much in the commentary booth, but they've been pretty vocal, pretty up on their feet, bit of yelling and screaming.
I'm looking to the right, I can see, I think that's Serena Richardson and Ike Summerfield standing in the stands there. Former Gold Coast players, or I'll call them current, but just not active Gold Coast participants. And we've got a timeout here for the Ravens.
Timeout Ravens. That's their second charge team timeout.
Some people are questioning. Ravens have got a couple of shots at it. It's as simple as that. They've got a couple of shots. They want to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Precisely.
They want to make sure that everything is what they want it to be. The other thing is too, the Stingrays, in their mind, believe they've just won a championship. And I mean that very generally. I don't mean to say that they've stopped playing. But you're now mucking around with the Stingrays' heads.
Yeah.
Now the Stingrays, from where they thought they'd won the game a couple of times to losing the game in overtime. I mean, I would have hated to have gone through that. And it messes with people's heads.
Roller coaster of emotions here.
Absolutely.
Look, the Ravens have whipped out one trick play, inside give there, but they had the little old flea flickers or what now. Maybe now's the time to use it.
This is your Statue of Liberty play time. I must say, from up here in the box and the amount of penalties that we've seen thrown, we've only seen a couple. It's been a good game in a good spirit. It's been a great ad for our sport.
I believe so too. So it's going to be wind up a short pass, but the play's been wound dead.
I think everyone except for the centre went on that one.
To change centres there. Ravens changing centres there to number 15.
False start. Offence, number 23. 5-yard penalty. Please reset the game clock to 22 seconds.
It was number 23, Natasha Johnson, on the false start there, and whilst it's probably not the time to recommend it, she's quite a character on this football team. One of the best sense of humours I've been told and I've also witnessed. But right now that's not exactly what the Ravens are needing, as we see a sack here. Amy Henry on the play to try to close this game out. The Ravens have one time out if they want to use it. Number 21.
I find it interesting that most of the teams, and I know you've mentioned this on Cafe American before, have gone to a pistol or a shotgun offence. That no one seems to be doing much under centre anymore. I wonder why. I wonder if it's just purely for a time.
Oh, thought we were going to see some talks. You're going
purely to give your quarterback a little bit more time or something like that. Because one of the things I always look at is
Timeout Ravens. That's their third charge team timeout. Please reset the game.
I mean, the other point I'd raise is that also it it argues that there's a lot more coaching and footwork when you put a quarterback under center. And it's an ongoing thing. It's not just in our league. You see it often in college football and high school football in America. A lot of coaches just trying to simplify offenses, and if that means taking out the coaching of footwork by putting him out in gun, I think a lot of people are falling favour to that.
Well, one thing I've always looked at is you've got so much more that can go wrong when you're running in shotgun.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can exchange, but no, I just find it interesting, and I know you've touched on it in the past, Kenny. You have a fan base.
Or one of you.
Well, we've got Christy Moran as a fan now.
Yeah, that's true. I've got two. We've doubled our listeners in the last year. Shout out to my co-hosts, Hayden Laban and Craig Pollard, if they're watching in today. 97. And 97 you by official account so far. Hope you tune out for the rest of them. And we're starting to see the ice buckets go on already. Usually that's something you say for after the game. And Greenwood's going to take a catch here. She's going to turn it off. Phil, can she get out of bounds? No, she can't. Last play of the game.
I think we'll see the clock wind out now. About 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm going to be heading down to the field now, Ferguson. I'm going to be leaving you in the capable hands of Pete Foray, and I'll be seeing you in a moment.
Well, first of all, heartfelt congratulations for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Came very close. They've certainly put to rest any doubters that have been out there. To the Bayside Ravens, I would also like to extend absolute congratulations for making it through in your first year. I think it's absolutely the Ravens. Well, not necessarily beat the Jets, but I look forward to seeing the Ravens continue to grow as a team as they are. I think one of the biggest things today is the scoreline of 20-8. I think is a good scoreline. I think it was a very good game today. I think we didn't see a great deal of penalties. We didn't see a great deal of undisciplined play. We did see a little bit, but I think that today is the championship game. And I know as a coach of one of these teams, this is a pretty big deal. It might not be the NFL Super Bowl, but I tell you what, it's our Super Bowl. And it means a hell of a lot to everybody who's involved. It doesn't matter which team you're on. Getting the chance to play in one of these games is pretty awesome. Actually winning one is a great feeling. So again, absolute congratulations to the Stingrays. I'm actually very pleased for them that they've won today. I think some of the players today have absolutely stood up and shone. Stuff that we've been expecting and we've been seeing during the course of the year, but I think it's just today was the showpiece, and I think it was a great game. With the Ravens, I think they put in such a good effort today, and I'm absolutely thrilled for them. We've got Kenny's made his way down. He's left me in the commentary box by myself, which is a scary thought as it is with all these buttons and things to worry about. I'm waiting for someone to very shortly say you can shut up now. But you'll notice that the teams in the middle, they're doing our traditional hugs and handshakes and pats on the back and that sort of thing. There's a very wet Rob McKinnon in there who ended up with quite a large water cooler full of, looked like Gatorade. It didn't look nice at all. I'm glad that didn't happen to me. But the teams will now come through and do their handshakes. One of the big things we were talking about earlier in the broadcast is the girls know each other. We're not a massive community, as you can see by the amount of teams we've got, but the girls all know each other. They're actually friends. I mean, we might not be friends while we're playing, but we're friends off the field. So handshakes and congratulations at the end of a game for the women take a reasonably long time because everyone knows each other. And there's a lot of hugging with the girls too. You don't get that as much with the men.
Zoe Barnett, number 9. Who? Zoe Barnett,
But
number
both
9.
teams, I can see the stick number 70. The crowd are showing a good bit of support for him as well, with a nice little bit of applause and responding to the cheers.
In front.
The Ravens will make their way over the sideline in a matter of minutes.
Oh, hang on. Oh, they're coming from there. Oh, if the camera's going to be there.
And we get to sit through the presentation of the championship medallions, the MVP, which is the most valuable player award for the game. We also get to see that what is quite a very nice trophy for the Summerbowl, for Summerbowl 4. So the Stingrays get to add their name to that trophy for the second time. They're now tied with the Jets. See, I've got to keep slipping the Jets in there. They're tied for the Jets now for 2 Summerbowl wins as well. So this is quite a good thing that we're about to witness. So please stay with the broadcast. There are a couple of other games coming up. The men's game will follow. I'm not too sure what time the men's game is, Andrew. I've got 3 o'clock is the men's game, so we've got about 15, 14 minutes before the men's game. And then we've got the Colts game, which is the Stingrays and the Spartans, I believe, playing after that. One of the things Gridiron Queensland does is they treat all the 3 competitions with the same amount of respect. So no competition is deemed as better than the others. So the women aren't better than the men or the men better than the Colts or anything like that. So what they actually do is they rotate the games around. Last year we had the women played the 7 o'clock game, which you would call the main game in inverted commas. This year it's the 7 o'clock tonight. So next year it'll be for the men. So it's a wonderful thing, the support throughout Gridiron Queensland to our growth that's been happening. I think we're only 4 years.
What's that, sorry?
So the Stingrays and the Ravens are having their little post-game chats as groups at the moment. Predominantly this is just cheering each other. 3 cheers usually for the crowd,
All right,
the opposition team, the officials.
Bring everyone in.
And it's just really good sportsmanship.
Guys, if we could, Ravens.
So the Ravens have come out of their huddle on their break.
bring it over this
They're
way.
moving away across over to where to near Kenny. Hopefully Kenny will now, I'm going to throw now down to Kenny. Thank goodness, it took ages. Kenny, over to you.
Stingrays, if we get you to line up over here for the presentation, that'd be awesome. We're down here for the presentation after Summerbowl 4. It's been a fantastic performance from both teams. The Ravens, commiserations to them. But the Gold Coast Stingrays find themselves victors here in Summerbowl 4. However, I will start this presentation if I could call the Andy Miller, the head coach of the Ravens, here to accept the accept the runner-up plate here for him. Presented here by Gridiron Queensland President Richard Gill. Miller, any words here for your the crowd here for the performance of your team so far?
For starters, I'd just like to thank the Stingrays for a fantastic game of football. You've pushed us all year, and you just showed us we have to step up that level next year. So if you expect this trophy next year, you got to come through us to get it. But thank you again for any ladies team we've come up against this year. Thank you. Be even better than what we are now. Thank you.
Andy Miller, head coach of the runners-up, the Bayside Ravens, and a fantastic season they've had in their rookie season. However, turning our attention now here to the reigning Summer Bowl champions now, the Gold Coast Stingrays. Could I ask the captains of the Gold Coast Stingrays coming up to accept the medallions and have a word here? Should I face the camera? Amy, how about we start you off there? Look, it was a fantastic game there. You came in with the final sack towards the back end of the fourth quarter. How do you feel about your team's performance this game to win this game, and how sweet does it feel to win a Summer Bowl?
It feels good winning the Summer Bowl. I just want to say thanks to the Ravens for a hard-fought game, but I'm proud of my sisters today. They're not just my team, they're my family. Proud of you guys! Proud champions!
Lauren Evans, you've had one of the finer games at quarterback here today in the Summer Bowl. You've saved one of your better performances for last. How do you feel about your offense and the receivers and your whole running game, which excelled today?
I think we really stepped up. We carried it all the way through the season. Our second half kind of picked us back up again. So it was definitely a tough game.
Absolutely. Congratulations, captains, and obviously the team, Gold Coast Stingrays, champions once again. Who I get head coach of the, I'll be MVP. If I get you guys a return, we'll announce the game MVP for today. One of the biggest announcements here coming up is the MVP of the Summer Bowl 4. And whilst there was a lot of competitors for it, there was one that really took her hand. She really ran the ball well today. 2015 Summer Bowl MVP.
I guess I couldn't have done it without my team, so it goes to them. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Zoe Barnett. Number 9, she had a fantastic game, unanimous MVP amongst our voters today. Well, what's usually called silverware, but there's not a whole lot of silver on it. Can we please ask head coach of the Stingrays to come up here? Accept it. Mate, with a couple of final words. Rob, how you feeling? Came very close last year. You've come away with the biscuits this year. How do you feel?
Good feeling, definitely. But first of all, big thanks to Andy and the Ravens crew. You've had an amazing season, guys. You've got some great athletes, and looking forward to seeing you guys all at state. To our guys, back on top. Yeah. Nice work, really good. And also a big thank you to my coaching crew. The amazing set of guys that just would not have made the season without it. Joshy, Adina, one of my old coaches, Nick Richardson. So thanks very much, guys.
All right, and with that, we present to you via GQ President Richard Qld, the Gold Coast Stingrays. Those are commiserations once again to the Bayside Ravens. Congratulations on new Summerbowl champions. Everyone would like to take photos. You have an opportunity now, but you've got 5 minutes until we've got to clear the field. Thank you.
Right, so that draws an end to the women's game and the presentation. There's a lot of photos will now be taken. We're going to take a bit of a break now. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Thank you very much for allowing me to be up here. I think you've got Kenny and Steve Box for the next game. Just be gentle with them like you were with us. Thanks, guys, and congratulations to the Gold Coast Stingrays once again.